Approximately 15 minutes to green flag conditions at this massive 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway for the Pennsylvania 500 today. We're just past halfway on the 1999 season. A chance to look back over 18 races, 16 to go. A chance to see some multiple winners, high-speed crashes, exciting competition, and to consider a defending champion in danger of losing his crown.
And the season is on.
The Winston Cup season kicks off at Daytona. In '99, this grinding crash eliminated many top contenders. It was left to two of the sports champions to settle matters.
Here comes Earnhardt. He's all the way to the bottom, almost in the grab. He slides up the racetrack, and Jeff Gordon will win.
Gordon's fortunes turned the following week at Rockingham. He blew a motor, opening the door for Mark Martin to take his only '99 win. Some of the season's closest racing has been on the short tracks, the half mile. Rusty Wallace, the master at Bristol. And owner Richard Petty's car won at Martinsville.
John Andretti wins the Martinsville Goodies Body Paint 500, an outstanding performance.
At Talladega in April, a major incident was triggered when Mike Skinner got out of shape and initiated this wreck, taking out Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace. Dale Earnhardt escaped that Talladega carnage. No driver was more consistent than Dale Jarrett. He gained the points lead with a win at Richmond. $1 million was on the line at Charlotte. Dale Earnhardt Jr. made his Winston Cup debut, finished 16th. Rookie Tony Stewart had an eventful day. He flew back to Charlotte after racing to 10th in the Indianapolis 500 and then finished 4th in the 600. But the star of the show was Jeff Burton.
But the checkers are ready to fly. They're going to belong to Jeff Burton of South Boston, Virginia.
Yeah! Bobby Labonte had a big month of June, starting from the pole and winning at Dover. Then Labonte held off Gordon for win number 2 at Pocono. In the season's first road race, Sears Point, California, Jeff Gordon won his 4th of the year, dodging several frightening crashes. Both Steve Park here and Ken Schrader flipped. Both were unhurt. July 4th weekend, Daytona. Dale Jarrett won for the 3rd time in '99, outrunning Earnhardt to a late caution flag and then barely stretching his fuel to take the checkered flag. 2 weeks ago at New Hampshire, it appeared it would be Tony Stewart's day. He led most of the final 100 laps. Only question, did he have enough gas?
He's in trouble. Stewart is running out of fuel. Stewart is going back and forth. And Andretti is on the pit lane. Jeff Burton could be in position to win here at New Hampshire International Speedway from starting at 38.
And he won it. Burton's 3rd straight win on the New Hampshire Mile. A spectacular finish to a spectacular first half of the 1999 Winston Cup season. And a spectacular race anticipated today. Take a look at these standings after 18 races. Dale Jarrett, 240-point advantage. And look at Jeff Burton up from 4th to 2nd place in the standings as we go to the Pennsylvania 500. Looking a little further back in the standings, there you see Terry Labonte. He's come from 12th up into 9th. Big race upcoming. Stay with us for all the action. Flag-to-flag coverage here on the Superstation of the 26th Annual Pennsylvania. Destructive. Menacing. Unpredictable. This is Pocono. It's a notorious in-your-door, full-contact, 200-mile-per-hour top-speed, tri-oval super speedway. There is no greater challenge for the world's best stock car drivers. and all the sport's top stars are here today for 500 miles at Pocono.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Less than 10 minutes, and 43 of the greatest stock car drivers you will find on the face of the earth will challenge the 26 Pennsylvania 500 on this 2.5-mile track. And a good day to you once again, Ken Squire at Pocono, Pennsylvania, and alongside one of the great champions, Buddy Baker. You always said that this was one of the tracks you truly loved. Now, what's there to love about it?
Oh, adrenaline, first off. Going down the straightaways at 200 miles an hour here, getting a guy set up to make a pass on him, taking that preferred line, getting in the corner, and yeah, when you get up there, you go, yes, I made the pass. It's fun here. I tell you what, though, you can get in trouble in a hurry.
Now, to Dr. Dick Berggren, what can we expect? The unexpected is exactly what we could expect. You would presume that the fastest car has the best chance to win the race. But here in the Pocono, Pennsylvania 500, this is the 26th running, the guy on the pole, the guy with the fastest car, has only won 3 times. Last time the drivers from the Winston Cup Series were here, it was June. We had 11 caution flags, more than in any other race in Winston Cup in 1999. Drivers, fans, crews never knew what was going to happen next. And finally, think about this. There has never been a first-time Winston Cup Series winner in this event. But Mike Skinner, who's never won, starts on the pole, and Tony Stewart is an absolute rocket. We could see that record broken. Expect anything to happen today, Ken.
Great expectations for this 500. Now, when you talk about this track, you talk about a challenge. And what a challenge it is. Let's have Buddy Baker explain it to you.
Well, I'm going to show you what the driver sees. As he starts down the longest straightaway he'll see all year long. 200 miles an hour down this part of the track. Hard on the brakes right here. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. In the center of the corner, you shift gears. Just like that to get a great run down Long Pond straightaway. This part of the racetrack, you hug the wall down the back straightaway. Down toward the tunnel turn, 190. What does the driver see? Nothing but concrete as he slides through this corner. 165 miles an hour as you approach turn 3. It's very important to stay, for the driver to stay right against the bottom of the racetrack. That dictates how fast you run down the front straightaway. And what do they get when they get there? Many cars, 5 wide, 6 wide. There's no rest here.
And that's a trip around the 2.5-mile Pocono track. The Walmart starting grid is next here. The Walmart EverStart battery starting grid shows Mike Skinner on the pole for the 3rd time, and the 26th effort of Mark Martin to win at Pocono. Kenny Schrader, his 30th start on the Pocono Triangle, and Bobby Labonte, who won here just 5 weeks ago. There's John Andretti, won at Martinsville in April. Wally Dallenbach alongside. Jeff Gordon is certain to be a big story before this day is over. How about Dale Earnhardt, a 2-time winner of this Pennsylvania 500? And that Tony Stewart, the flashy freshman, he'll be coming out of 12th. Dale Jarrett, 95 and 97 winners, going to be strong today. Rusty Wallace won it in 91 and in 96. I like the look of Jeff Burton in that 99 anytime he cinches up. Further back in the field, Jimmy Spencer gave it such a great go last year and nearly took it home for the Pennsylvania fans. Looking further back in the field, Kenny Wallace, he was 2nd at New Hampshire. Is he on a roll? We'll see today. 43 starters. Here's Ricky Rudd trying to keep that string of 16 seasons alive of winning a race every year. And you know about Bill Elliott. He's always a contender. A 3-time winner of the Summer Classic. Kyle Petty, he's been a winner at Pocono. Maybe, just maybe. Elliott Sadler, broken foot, and he's still running. As you look back through the provisionals here, Darrell Waltrip, Winston Cup provisional, on the very tail end of the field. Field begins to roll out. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Ken, can you believe it's just been 22 days since Mark Martin was injured at Daytona? A broken wrist, a broken knee. Hey, he's in the car. He said he let the team down at Loudon. The pain distracted him. It takes 2 team members to get him into that number 6 race car. But he said he's ready to go. He's pain-free today. Believe it or not, he has never won on this racetrack. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Although the drivers are the focus here this afternoon, just like the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball, it takes a total team effort. Over my right shoulder, you see the spotters aligning the front stretch over the top of the grandstands. Also, you have the crew chief here. Both of the spotter and the crew chief have to communicate with the driver. The spotter will help him get through traffic. The crew chief will discuss strategy. And then, of course, you have the pit crew. They have to do 6 to 10 stops here today. They have to do them flawlessly. It'll take a total team effort to win at Pocono. Mike.
These cars were last here in June. The winner then was Bobby Labonte. But he's wrecked his car since then, wrecked it at Loudon. They had to bring a brand new car here. But you talk about communication. They've communicated well enough to put him in the 4th starting spot. Bobby Labonte, a good shot to win here at Pocono again today.
Time to take a look at the AutoZone race analysis. We're going to go 200 laps. That's 500 miles on this unique 2.5-mile tri-oval. Pole speed over 170 miles an hour, an event record. Pit window for fuel is 35 to 40 laps. Fuel mileage is very often a factor here at Pocono. The biggest factor, the driver, of course, at Pocono. And how does the driver see this 2.5-mile track?
It's hard. It's a difficult racetrack. Every corner is a different challenge. Every straightaway is different. It's bumpy. It's hard to get hooked up. It's hard.
You know, once you start learning the little tricks about this place, they add up to a lot of time on the stopwatch. So once you start learning that, you start having a little more fun.
It's a fun place to drive, and it's just a track that I seem like that I adapted to early in my career, my Winston Cup career anyway, and even ARCA car. When I run ARCA races here, I always liked it. It was different and had a lot of different characteristics to it, and it's hard to set it up just for, like a normal place. You got 2 or 3 different corners you have to work on. So there's a lot of things I like about it.
It's different. I like Pocono because it's different. You know, you don't stay in very many motels here. You stay in chalets. The thought of Neil Bonnet running into a deer off of turn 2 years ago when I was just a crew member
It is a track that I like. I mean, it's a track where you got to approach every corner different. It's a very challenging track, and so I really enjoy that.
I like it because you can race here. You're not, the driver can make a difference here. You're not at the total mercy of your equipment.
Well, Pocono's a cool track. It's got a lot of different places to pass on it. That's one thing I do like. We are going to some racetracks now that are just follow the leader, and it's pretty hard to pass on them. But Pocono, you can pass down the front straightaway, down the back straightaway, off the corners. You don't do much passing on the high side of the racetrack. Basically, everything's on the bottom side, but you do a lot of that here. That's one thing I like about Pocono.
1 lap, and they will be racing. Perfect weather conditions. 81 degrees, humidity at 69%. Just a great day to go to the races, and you're along. Let's take a look at the in-car cameras. Here's Bobby Labonte starting 4th on the grid, the most recent winner here at Pocono. He'll give you some action. Dale Jarrett lined up 15th. This could be a good omen. He won from the 15th spot in 95. What a story here. Crashed yesterday, broke his foot. Does that stop Elliott Sadler in the Wood Brothers car? No siree. And the Wood Brothers have won twice at Pocono. Jerry Nadeau, the Connecticut driver, backup car. He crashed hard yesterday, the Melling team, looking for a good finish. Wally Dallenbach lines up 6th today, his best start of the season. He'll give you some great action. Jeff Burton from 18th. 2 of his 4 wins this year have come from 19th and 38th. Don't count him out. Robert Presley is making his 123rd Winston Cup start, his 6th here at Pocono, deep in the field. And up front, outside of the front row, in this remarkable story of guts, grit, and glory, Mark Martin is ready to roll. For the 2nd time this season up in front, the front row, he's produced 9 winners in this event at outside position. 9 winners. The other favorite position, the hot spot, is somebody that has qualified 10. Today, that's Joe Nemechek. Next time through there, how fast, Baker?
Oh, listen, they don't even care how fast they're running right now. They're following the pace car. He's dictating the speeds, coming down for the flag. Those left knees just jump a little bit in anticipation of what's going to happen here for 500 miles. Probably one of the most dramatic racetracks that I've ever been on. Total concentration for the amount of the race. If you ever start relaxing, you will get in trouble here.
One of the most interesting parts of all auto racing is to watch the start of a race here at Pocono. The fans are now getting up on their feet because the drivers are going to fan out and try to pass each other. They'll go 3, 4, 5 wide when they see the green flag. It all has to filter down to just 2 wide as they head to the first turn. Every seat sold out. 43 cars come over that very flat fairgrounds kind of turn. They prepare for the start. Here it comes for the 26th time. The Pennsylvania 500 is underway. On the brake, blue car into the lead. Mike Skinner.
5 wide already down the front straightaway, and they'll have to get back in double file when they go through turns 1.
Skinner pulls away 5 car lengths as they hit the back straightaway here. A little over 3,000 feet. 3,700 feet in the main straight. Now, that notorious tunnel turn.
It's a test of courage as they go down in that corner. They carry tremendous speed in through the tunnel turn, as you can see.
Short straightaway, 1,700 feet. Then the demise of many a good race car. And now they sweep around this 2.5-mile track. They're back, and down the main straightaway they come. Up in front, Skinner is first, and it is Mark Martin sustaining second spot. 8th race that Skinner has led this year on that first lap, picks up 5 important Winston Cup points. So far, so good for Skinner. This morning, his crew chief, Larry McReynolds, told me their basic goal was lead a lap, don't set our hair on fire, and start monitoring fuel miles right away.
And Bobby Labonte just made a move there. He tried to make a move on John Andretti in the 43 car, the blue and orange car going down the back straightaway there. Could not make it happen.
Schrader in the 33. There you see Andretti tucking in. Labonte right behind him with Gordon in pursuit. All of this back and forth, 5th, 6th, 7th position.
Gordon moves up a spot. It's Bobby Labonte down in turn 3. Jeff Gordon has had a great car up out of this corner all week long.
Gordon, the defending champion in this race, as well as the defending Winston Cup champion. They tried some experiments with that race car. Jeff Gordon's crew did. They've gone back to the same setup that has caused them to finish first or second here at Pocono in 7 of the last 8 races. It's a good setup. Schrader to 3rd where he started, and ready for 4th. And now on the attack, here comes Gordon in the 24.
Mike Skinner got a great jump, but everybody's drafting. There's the king sitting up there. He don't look like a guy that's worried about anything to me. They know they have a great car on flat tracks. They have one already this year in Martinsville, Virginia.
One here is a driver. Now can the 43 carry the petty colors with John Andretti at the keyboard. Back to victory at Pocono.
I don't believe I'd want to play cards with him, do you?
Not poker. I sure would want to play poker. John Andretti has been really fast here since they unloaded that race car at Pocono. He's never had good luck here. Never had a top 10 at Pocono, but if he's going to have a big day, today is it.
You can see Tony Stewart in that orange car taking a look on the inside there.
Out of the back of Mark Martin's car. He gets some distance on Schrader and Andretti, the 3rd and 4th place cars. He's got almost 1.3 seconds on Schrader right now. There you see Schrader in the number 33. The green car is 3rd, followed by Andretti and Gordon, 3, 4, and 5.
Things will change in a few laps as the tires get heat in them. They start to lose a little bit of grip, and the finer handling cars will make it to the front.
Earnhardt and Terry Labonte about to get into it pretty good out here. Here they come around the flat corner. Look at this. Here is Earnhardt in the number 3 car, and Labonte 12th and 13th respectively on the field.
Earnhardt's got a pretty good car, but they did make major changes and didn't get a chance to try them. After happy hour yesterday, they changed a lot of things on that car.
Dale Jarrett on the inside making a move as well in that blue car. fell back a spot from his starting position, 16th. Now he's beginning to work his way back up through. And remember, it's like a whole new train underneath that car. New transmission, rear end gears, new engine on the machine. Gordon nipping away, roosting on the back end of that number 43, about a car length and a half back. 185 miles an hour here as he begins to close in.
I talked to Ray Evernham just this morning. Let's go back to the leaders here. Mark Martin's pulled it down to less than a car length now. You can draft here just like you do at Daytona and Talladega. You see him following this car. As he moves off the wall there, he pulled down to stay in that slipstream. That's the turbulent air coming off the first car that pulls the second car forward.
Here we go. He's getting ready to make a move on Mike Skinner, the leader. He's down to the bottom of turn 1. He may have a broken knee. He may have a broken wrist. He may have trouble breathing when he stands up and takes a deep breath. But it doesn't bother him one bit when he goes after first place here in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. You have to love Mark Martin if you love racing.
The crew has made no alterations in that car whatever to make him more comfortable as we watch Dale Jarrett of the 88 move up and Rusty Wallace as well moving forward in the 2 cars.
And Rusty Wallace just gave Rich Bickle a break there. This is give and take this early in the race. He saw that Bickle was coming down into the main groove there, backed out and let him have the preferred line.
Bickle at 15th, falling back 1 spot with that pass. Here's the challenge up in front. It's Skinner and Martin for first place. Then a space to Schrader, Andretti, and Gordon all in a pack. Stay with us.
Pennsylvania 500 on TBS Superstation is brought to you by Excite NASCAR Select, the official automotive battery of NASCAR. By Team Monte Carlo, Chevy, the cars more champions trust. By the motor oil that provides maximum protection, Castrol GTX, drive hard. By Wendy's Classic Hamburgers, it's Hamburger Bliss. And by Fleetwood Homes, quality for life.
9 green flag laps have been completed. Mike Skinner stays in front. Pressure is being exerted by Mark Martin as they grapple for the lead. Mike Skinner, what a story he has been. November of '98, on top of the world with that win at Motegi, the Japanese Oval. But April at Talladega of '90 was a low point in his career, spinning into the pack 200 miles per hour in that Talladega backstretch.
And you wonder, Mike Skinner graduated out of the Craftsman Truck Series where he was a champion there. That tells you that all the divisions of NASCAR are very, very strong. You have a guy out there right now leading the Winston Cup race that was a champion in the truck division.
Of course, one of the big stories about Mike Skinner this weekend is that his crew chief, Larry McReynolds, who has been undecided if he was going to stay with the team or form his own team, announced that he would indeed stay with the team. He made the announcement. Next thing that happens, Skinner sits on the pole. Look at this. He's led every lap so far at Pocono. And it's a good thing for Mike Skinner that he's still got McReynolds because he's a good one.
And look at Gordon coming to 3rd. He has moved up through from that 7th starting position. Mike Skinner, who spun at Talladega, doesn't want to do that here. He could have just as disastrous results with a tremendous speed. They gather up main straightaway, particularly here in this what they call long pond straightaway of some 3,100 feet.
Well, the one thing that's impressive about Gordon, he's doing it right by himself. He broke away from the pack of cars that he was running with, and now he's closing in on the leaders.
Skip to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Jeff Gordon has been talking to his crew chief, Ray Evernham. When he first started this race, he said, Ray, I'm awfully tight off of turn 3. Now that they've gone 11 laps, the car seems to be coming to him. He's now got that lead down to 1.9 seconds. Early on, he said the car had a push, Buddy Baker. Maybe right now, early in this race, we can tell the viewers what the difference is between pushing and loose.
Well, Neil Bonnet used to say loose was when you don't see the wreck, when the back of the car hits first. But what it means is when you're pushing, you turn the steering wheel and the front wheels let it go straight towards the wall. You lose grip with the front wheels. When it's loose, the back of the car is sliding around and trying to pass the front.
Sliding around just a little there out of that first turn. The number 31 of Skinner, and Mark Martin plays it cozy, sits right there. There's the ship.
Yeah, And the nice part of these transmissions they use, you don't have to use the clutch. They don't have a synchronizer, so you just jerk them in gear.
And that just answered the question right there. He was on the long pond straightaway. Mark Martin shifted again, so he is shifting at least twice.
Four times
a lap, and changing into that overdrive on at least 2 separate occasions.
We have a change for the lead here. You see the 6 car, Mark Martin, leading. Those 5 points are very important to all these guys. To lead a lap here, you get 5 bonus points, and that's exactly what he looks like he's done. There goes Skinner right back by.
Yeah, Skinner let him have those 5 bonus points, and he said, I'm having so much fun leading here at Pocono. Give it back to me.
Or words to that effect.
Yeah, something like that.
Draws away a little this time as he comes off that straightaway. While we're on board, take a look at the outside of this move by Mark Martin.
Now, that was going down into turn 3. The 31 there, Mike Skinner just eased out the throttle. Mark Martin went by on the inside. A good run up out of the corner. Got those 5 bonus points that are important to these guys.
13th lap when he made that move. Take a look at Ward Burton in number 22. Ward Burton is up to 6th spot. He's ready to challenge Schrader now.
He's got a great race car. That car was very fast here in June. Led 13 laps in the car. They got into a wreck late in the race, repaired it. They're back again with this one. Look at Tony Stewart in that orange car on the inside. He'll be a factor before this day is over.
He moves by Dallenbach. He continues to pick him off.
Dallenbach just moved over and let him go there. Got right back in the slipstream there, and they're trying to go to the front together.
8th position now, Dallenbach. 8th position now, Stewart. Dallenbach falls to 9th. We'll take a commercial break here with now 14 of the 200 laps complete, working lap 15. Mike Skinner out in front. Started from the pole, and he's only lost that top spot for sure.
Yeah, he's not really hurt.
No. We're back with you at Pocono, Pennsylvania, watching Kenny Irwin limp away from a destroyed car number 28 that had started 19th on the grid today. Let's take a look at what happened, Buddy Baker.
23, Jimmy Spencer on the inside of Kenny Irwin. They make contact right there. Kenny Irwin hard in to the wall there on the driver's side. You never want to see that happen. And as he gets stopped, fire erupts under the left front corner.
Moments later, here he is clambering out of car number 28. Looks like he may have hurt his left foot. But he didn't want to be held. He wanted to go and point to someone specifically, and that someone, Jimmy Spencer.
Wow.
What do you think, bump or chop?
Well, both of them wanted the preferred line going in the corner. Jimmy was already committed on the bottom part of the racetrack, and Kenny Irwin came down a little bit, and the two got together. I wouldn't really blame anyone.
Spencer had his wheels all the way up underneath. He was there. Take a look again.
They're almost side by side as they approach the corner, so...
Yeah, they both own the territory right there.
Now, you watch the 28. Jimmy's still on the bottom, and they just touch right there.
And watch the 98.
Rick Mast just barely gets by on the inside in the 98 car there.
Mr. Lucky, Rick Mast on that one. In the Cale Yarborough car. Under caution, we're showing 17 complete, and they're bringing back for that automatic check the driver of number 28 for Robert Yates, Kenny Irwin. Skinner back up.
Pit stops. Ward Burton first out. He took just 2 tires. That'll get you out in a hurry.
Yeah, and it's very early in the race. That's good strategy to get your good track position. It's so important here to stay in that front pack.
I'll tell you who else is having a good day. Sterling Marlin right up in there. And Skinner is going to be the big loser on this pit stop. Way back. We'll sort it out and be back with you in just a moment after this commercial break. Under caution, first time.
Budweiser presents the Bud Pole Award. On Friday afternoons, every driver wants to earn the coveted Bud Pole Award. But does starting up front guarantee success in the race on Sunday? This year it does. In the first 18 races of 1999, Bud Pole Award winners have recorded 12 top 5 finishes, and 4 times Bud Pole Award winners have gone on to win. At Daytona, Jeff Gordon got the season off to a great start, starting from the Bud Pole and then holding off Dale Earnhardt for the win. Rusty Wallace duplicated that feat at Bristol. And Bobby Labonte started on the Bud pole and won at Dover. Jeff Gordon completed his second pole race double at Sears Point by outrunning Mark Martin to the checkered flag for his fourth victory of 1999. But Jeff Burton doesn't need to start on the Bud pole to have Sunday success. 2 weeks ago at New Hampshire, he started 38th, yet went on to win.
Cleaning up the remains of Kenny Irwin's car, having crashed here in turn 3. Pocono Raceway eliminating the Robert Yates, number 28. Let's get right down on an STP pit roundup to Randy Pemberton.
Well, it was routine pit stops for nearly all the leaders. In fact, everyone in the field. Some guys took on 2 tires. Most guys took on 4. I'm standing in Mark Martin's pit. When he came into pit, they changed right side tires first, came around nice and smooth, changed the left side tires. Unfortunately, a tire got away from a crew member, rolled across pit road. That is a no-no. Mark Martin will now have to come back in the pits for a stop-and-go penalty. That'll put him to the tail end of the lead lap cars when he goes back out.
And here he comes live on the pit road. Saw that replay of the problem on pit road. And here's Mark Martin coming in. You want to see some dramatic racing? We'll follow this number 6 car when we get ready to crank it up once again under green. Taking a moment under caution. Randy?
Mark Martin for the stop-and-go penalty. You're wondering why they're reaching in the cockpit right now. Mark has had some trouble with his radios earlier on in this race. He couldn't speak to his crew chief, Jimmy Fennick. So as long as they're in here for the stop-and-go penalty, they're trying to clear up that problem because we still have a good 3 hours of racing probably left here this afternoon. Mark Martin, a little misfortune early on, but he's got a great race car, got a lot of heart. He'll come back here this afternoon.
Steve Burns?
Ken, we're with Kenny Irwin. Just came out of the infield care center after that hard crash. Are you okay? What happened?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. I guess I didn't give the 23 enough room, and he wrecked me in turn 3. So I mean, that's how I see it. I'm sure he may see it some other way, but I don't know. I felt like I gave him a little room, or some room, and he used more than what he had.
What did you say to Jimmy when he came back around? We saw you point at him.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't point at him.
Disappointed Kenny Irwin. Frustrating year for him. Big question marks about his future.
Working on Jimmy Spencer's car in the pit. Spencer is the one that just contacted with Irwin's car. Obvious right front damage there. They're working on it, trying to get him back out. Big story here in June that he had the crowd on its feet. Local driver from Berwick, Pennsylvania, as he led. Let's take another look at Irwin not pointing at Jimmy Spencer. Well, he didn't really point.
He did not point.
Let's call it a gesture.
Yeah, I thought he might jump in the window, but he did not point.
Dave Marcus led for a lap. He's now pitted. Gave him 5 points. The guy making his 24th start, 58-year-old Dave Marcus. Look at this. We'll be back on this story in a moment. 20 of 200 laps complete. What's a teammate for? Well, you saw it a moment ago when Kenny Wallace pulled up and gave a little shove here to his teammate Ken Schrader to get him back and onto pit road. And not a penalty.
No, they can do that so long as they drop him off before they get into the pits. Let's get down to Steve Burns with Schrader's crew chief. Steve?
Hey, Ken, there's some confusion down here in the pits. Crew chief Sammy Johns. Guys, what's going on?
We're not sure yet. It just shut off on him back there, and he couldn't get it started back. Kenny Wallace gave us a push around and started back up all of a sudden, so we're not real sure yet. Got a piece of fuel, trash in the fuel or what? We expected distributor, but it's running again right now. So.
All right, let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Mark Martin came in one more time under this most recent caution, or the first caution here. They actually came up, make sure that they didn't bump the spoiler up too much on the prior stop. They added a couple of rounds of wedge. They bumped the spoiler up, and they got concerned that they bumped it up too far. It would slow him down this very long front straightaway, and they did indeed bump it up too far, so they pulled it back down for him on this last stop.
Getting ready for green flag racing once again tonight on TNT at 8 p.m. It's the championship game of the Tournament of the Americas. See the USA take on Canada. The USA team is undefeated, and they're the favorites to win. That's tonight at 8 on TNT. After these pit stops, Ward Burton has put himself up in front of the number 22, and we'll get a chance to see what Bill Davis's Pontiac can do and see if it can carry the mail in that first spot.
You know, the one amazing part of this race car, it's one of the few single car teams that runs up front every week. Bill Davis is known for having a good eye for talent. He won with Ward Burton, and I'll tell you, he just knows he brought Mark Martin into the sport. So many of the people, Jeff Gordon drove for him in the early parts of his career. I think Bill Davis might have the edge because he knows how to put people together and get this kind of performance out of them.
Mike Hogwood.
We documented early in the broadcast about Elliott Sadler and his injured foot that he hurt in practice yesterday. He is in the car. He is driving. He is in a little bit of pain. But Elliott Sadler told me before the race started that, hey, we're just going to use this race today as a test session for this team. I'm a rookie. I've had the worst week of my racing life. I'm going to go out there with a test session and try to bring this 21 car home in one piece.
Broke 2 motors in 1 practice period, first day out. Broke his foot yesterday. Morgan Shepard, the relief driver, has been sent home. Morgan is not here. He formerly drove for the Wood Brothers and gave it a little run in happy hour yesterday. Pace car is about to come in. We're going to leave Elliott in for whatever it takes today. As they come down, you have Ward Burton first, Sterling Marlin second, Mayfield in third, Joe Nemechek fourth, Andretti fifth, and Gordon is sixth. Skinner, loser on that pit stop. He's back in the 7th spot. Jarrett 8th, 9th to Labonte, and 10th to Stewart.
And that blue missile you were watching there that jumped out there with Joe Nemechek, the 42 car. Skinner and Gordon are going at it side by side as they catch up on some floor traffic.
Sterling Marlin trying for the lead right here.
Sterling is strong. This is the same car that won the pole here in June, set the all-time track record. Right now, it's in the lead.
You'll see the 22 drop back as they head into the tunnel turn, trying to get a good position as they get a run down through the short chute.
So Sterling Marlin is in command here. Take a look at this battle. Here's Jeff Gordon up on the outside as he maneuvers through the 88 coming with him.
Boy, that's hero material. When you make a pass like that, of course, it's not done yet. You see Jarrett in the 88 there, 2 wide down the front straightaway, side by side. Bobby Labonte just behind him in the green car.
Gordon and Jarrett trying to dig it out here. That's back in 7th position. Look at Stewart hugging the bottom, working his way up here for a challenge.
John Andretti still in the thick of it as well. Andretti running in 4th spot.
And he's bringing Skinner with him. Skinner back in 7th on that restart. Now Skinner finds himself up to 5th and closing. Andretti in 4th. Nemechek still showing 3rd.
Talking to Larry McReynolds in the garage area this morning, he says this might be the best setup I've ever had for this race. He was very confident on long runs that they would have a great car. Don't look bad on short runs to me.
So far, so good.
Here's Gordon trying to clear out around number 11, Brett Bodine, as he tries to bring himself up. Marlin stays first, Burton second, Nemechek third. And look at this parade at 190 plus down the main straightaway.
That is a fast congo line you were watching right there, led by Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte behind him, Dale Jarrett. All these guys are really in the points race. All these guys you're looking at right now, it's so important to keep this track position, stay up front today.
Napa running order here as we go down through the field for you with 24 laps complete.
On board with Dale Jarrett right now. Jarrett currently riding in 8th position. That's Bobby Labonte in front of him. Labonte won the race here in June.
See him sawing on that steering wheel. That right arm busy right now as he heads into the flat car to turn 3.
Back they come in the main straightaway, closing up. Here's Jeff Gordon as he's wanting to make a run out here. Wesley Wallace and Dale Jarrett have different views on that incident at New Hampshire a couple of weeks back. Jeff Gordon in that incident. Here's what they had to say.
Yeah, that's a situation that we were racing hard, and as far as I was concerned, when I got on the plane to go home from Loudon, that was over and done with. It's not something that you carry on around. I know Jeff is a great racer, and we're going to race a lot together, and this probably won't be the last time that we'll get together, but as far as both of us are concerned, it's over and done, and we'll race hard here.
I'm not sure you remember it, but I'm not sitting vindictive, you know. I am saying that, you know, if that situation ever happened to him, like last week, it was just racing. I got hit in the rear end, I got sent in the wall, I destroyed a car, and that was just racing. If he gets hit in the ass end, he goes in the wall and destroys his car. He's got to understand that's just racing.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. There's some separation there. Wallace is back in 16. We'll see if it's just racing when they get together. Let's hope they don't get too close together here.
Well, Felix Sabates has got to be cheering because he's got 2 cars in this race. One of them is in first position with Sterling Marlin. The other one is in third position, Joe Nemechek, both running well.
Take a look at Skinner coming up through. He is strong today as he's making a move for 5th spot.
On the outside, that is not easy to do in turns 1. The preferred line is right around the bottom of the racetrack. He just pulled out and powered his way by John Andretti.
Climbing up through the field comes Mike Skinner and Gordon now just behind him. And that move around Andretti, that would put Skinner into 4th and Gordon into 5th. It would leave Bobby Labonte back in 6th and ready to challenge Andretti. There you see Bobby Labonte putting that green Pontiac down on the bottom. This is for position.
Well, he ought to make the pass right there. You see John Andretti roll out of the throttle because he saw Dale Jarrett coming with him there. He eased out. He wanted to get back on the bottom of the racetrack and not lose any more position.
Those guys were just listening to you. They knew that you said it's time to make the pass. That's all.
The winner in June a year ago, Jeremy Mayfield on this racetrack. He's running in the 14th position at the present time, and there's his teammate, Rusty Wallace, pressing him a little at this point. 14th and 15th, back for the lead, and once again, Ward Burton is going to put that number 22, the Cats, back up in front. Sterling Marlin comes after him again.
I love that. And the reason he runs so very well on long runs, he shipped him 4 times a lap here. He's one of the few guys that really takes that chance and shifts down the back straightaway, through the short chute. He stays busy all the way around this racetrack.
That old yellow and black Cat looks terrific right now. It started in 7th position, currently up in front. And look at the number 31, pressing on Gordon.
Well, Gordon has actually passed him in the last couple of laps there, and now they're going at it side by side down the back straightaway, as you can see, down towards the tunnel turn. Gordon will have to give way.
I tell you, that Skinner is putting on a whale of a show.
He's having one of the best runs today he has had all year. Skinner's got a real legitimate shot to win this, having never won a Winston Cup point race in his entire career. Look at this! Push it in! Wow!
That's called bump drafting right there. When you get close enough to help the car in front of you without upsetting him, you'll kind of tag him along and say, come on, let's go if you want to go.
Yeah, and how thick is your courage to want to participate in a deal like that and that kind of stuff?
Let me tell you, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen and racing. You have to go for it.
Yeah, that's why we're up here, too.
Nemechek in 3rd, and here you see the number 31 trying to go beneath him. Skinner in the 31, down on the bottom. Take a look at this bump drafting here. Is that good for about 100 horsepower, Baker?
You wouldn't believe how much that helps to get a car helping you down through that area there. It may be just 50 RPMs, but it really helps to catch the cars in front of you. You see right now, he's in touch with 42 there, Nemechek, dropping back a little bit through the tunnel turn, though. He must have a push in that part of the racetrack.
As they're deployed, Nemechek, the number 42, left of your screen in the 3rd position. Skinner there and Gordon. And here comes Dale Jarrett into the picture. He's in 6th.
Jarrett started in 15th spot all the way up to 6th. He's moving forward.
New engine, new transmission, new gears in the backside of that number 88 car for the Winston Cup point leader. Wouldn't it be something if he takes that coveted crown that his dad won on 2 occasions, the great Ed Jarrett? Here comes Gordon trying a different line here as he tries to move on Skinner. He'll have some fun trying to get around Mike Skinner.
Now, just behind this line of cars as they come by, Tony Stewart's moved into the fray here. What a talent this guy is. He's been up front so many times this year. And when he gets up there, folks, look out for some great racing because he is brave.
You know, as you watch Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett battle here on the racetrack, interestingly, even though Dale Jarrett is ahead of Gordon right now by some 389 points, he's only beaten him 8 times in the 18 races so far this year. The whole deal, top 5 finishes. Jarrett has more of them.
Gordon slips down to the bottom. Jarrett coming with him.
1 week ago, they were bumping each other. Now they're helping each other. That's all this sport's all about. Right now, they're trying to catch that bunch just in front of them up there.
Jeff Gordon weaves his way up through. Gordon now taking over. He's got the third spot. And he brings Dale Jarrett right along with him. Nemechek trying to get back in this mix, buddy.
Listen as he picks the throttle up here. Music.
And walking on eggs as you clear out of that corner. Here we come to that big flat. Third turn and then down the main straightaway. You're just joining us. This is the longest straightaway in Winston Cup racing. Some 3,700 feet. There you see that crowd lined up. All down this straightaway, sold out. See this show. What a show they're seeing. Here we're going with 32 of 200 laps complete. As Gordon has extricated himself from a bunch of race cars, got himself up to third. He has brought Dale Jarrett with him. Has done a little work on his own.
Yeah, and they're catching the front two every lap. They're really pulling this deficit down as they go around the racetrack working with each other.
Back up in front, present time, it's Ward Burton leading here in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. More to come. Darn good strap up in front as they grapple for second position. Here comes Jeff Gordon down on the inside of Sterling Marlin. They clear out of the high bank 14-degree turn 1. Down the Long Pond straightaway. Marlin still in possession of second place. Ward Burton is out in front. Looking him over. The Winston Cup point leader, Dale Jarrett, just behind.
Boy, oh boy. Every time I see this 22 run, I think Ward Burton is so very, very talented. They maybe not have the biggest crew out there. They may not have teams to help them, but this whole team with Tommy Baldwin and everybody, his crew chief, they have really put together a great team.
They got a lot of heart. They really do. The addition of Tommy Baldwin to this number 22 team as its crew chief has been a huge addition. They have clearly run better since that has happened. Great communication between driver and crew chief.
Mark Martin is just knocking the pegs down. He's picked up some 12 automobiles and he's ready to challenge Mayfield. He may have scooted along there. Mark Martin's already picked him up. Taken in the last lap. Look at this move. Here's Gordon on the inside.
That's a pass there going down towards the tunnel turn. You have to give way there. You can't make it through there too wide.
Martin is back in the top 20. He's in the 19th of that car 6. Just past both Waltrip and Mayfield.
Marlin's going to try to take it back on the bottom. Crowd on its feet.
Here they come down the main straightaway. Sterling Marlin pressing, moving up, two Chevys side by side. 190-mile-per-hour shootout into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. Let's see who's going to give.
While they're running side by side, Mike Skinner and quite a few of the other cars are closing in as they run side by side.
Look at Dale Jarrett make that move on the outside. Sterling Marlin has to settle back a spot. Jarrett up to third. Marlin falls to fourth.
Yeah, you see Marlin throw the car to the outside. He just gets there.
Right on the wall. Hit the wall.
And that's the leader. Sure is the 22 of Ward Burton. Ward Burton's Caterpillar Pontiac slams the wall in turn 3. Caution is out. Racing back to the line.
A lot of damage to the right front corner. You can see the sheet metal pushed in past the tire on the right front corner. That tunnel turn has got a lot of cars in trouble over the years.
As they come to the stripe, Gordon will be first. Jarrett in second. Marlin third. Skinner fourth. Stewart fifth. It'll be Bobby Labonte sixth. Jeff Burton in second.
What a heartbreaker for Ward Burton, who has crashed out of 2 Pocono races in a row before today, leading the event, bounced it off the concrete, now takes his crippled race car to pit road.
Boy, that in-car camera, I was just looking through it, and I saw the car go directly into the wall coming out of the tunnel turn.
Oh, he's got major damage. Right front wheel isn't even turning on that race car.
The elder brother of those South Boston Burton brothers. Boy,
What a tough one for Ward Burton. Steve Burns is down there now.
Well, Ken, when you called that incident with Ward Burton, the crew didn't even know what happened. They jumped up. Heavy damage to the right side of the number 2 of Ward Burton. This is going to be a devastating injury for this crippled race car. Tommy Baldwin and the guys are going to try and pull the sheet metal off of the right side tires to free the car up. Oh, and Ward has just shut the motor off on this promising race car and promising afternoon.
The 1998 pole winner of the event, looking for a good day here, likes this racetrack, and it's going to be a while.
And taking the right front tire off that car and the right rear. What a disappointment today. Bill Davis, the car owner, out there. He's the fellow with his hand on the headset, walking behind the race car now as the crew begins to disassemble it.
You see the white part on that tire there, that was the concrete dust that gets up in between the tire and the wheel. When you hit that hard, boy, I mean, it does a lot of damage.
They'll be going behind the wall to finish the work on this one. Damage too extensive to work on it on pit road.
Got to be some suspension pieces that are busted on that number 22.
There's Tommy Baldwin, the crew chief, on your left.
What a difference he's made for this team this year. They have really put some fire into that number 22. And you see Bill Davis shouting at Baldwin. He still wants to race for points.
Every one of the leaders are on pit road now.
This is at lap 39.
NASCAR is making them stop there. They don't want that car out on pit road with people pushing it for fear that one of the crew members might be injured. So NASCAR is going to ask them to just stay there until this round of pit stops is over.
So here you see the leaders in on pit road. Top of your screen, Gordon, then Marlin, bottom of the screen, and all the way around comes the Dale Jarrett car with 4 tires and get him back out there. When he won this race in, what, 97, he won it with that brilliant pit stop that Todd Parrott made. Whoops. And out there.
The 24 there, Jeff Gordon wins the race in the pits there, comes out in the lead.
I'll tell you, Marlin made a 2-tire stop. I think everybody thought he had it. Jarrett made just a great move with Todd Parrott to took that race home. And here you see Gordon out in front. Started 7th. Jarrett in 2nd. Marlin 3rd when they pitted. We'll check them all down for you when we return after these messages.
The TDS Super Shop has super collectibles of all your favorite cars and drivers. Call toll-free 1-877-577-SHOP or visit us online at tdssupershop.com to get in on the action.
We're back at Pocono, Pennsylvania. The story of the moment is Ward Burton's crash at turn 3. Here's Buddy Big.
Okay, just up here, right in this area, is the leader. Ward Burton as he heads down in the corner. We're looking out of Dale Jarrett's car. He goes up, makes contact right there with the wall, hard into the outside wall. I would say he had a problem as he entered the corner.
STP Pit Roundup, and let's start with Steve Burns.
Ken, Ward Burton has just climbed out of the race car. Buddy Baker was just talking about the replay. What happened, Ward?
I don't know. Everything was just going smooth. Caterpillar guys did a good job on the car. We started off pretty loose, and we were getting a little bit better there. But right on the entrance of tunnel turn, got on the brakes, tried to turn. The car didn't turn. I must have had the tire going down. It went down real quick, and we just can't get a break here. We run good here every damn time. We just can't get any luck.
Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Boy, they're really problems for Jeremy Mayfield. He'd lost 3rd gear, and that meant that he was just going to be awful on the restarts. But when he came in for the pit stops, Jeremy couldn't get it in 4th gear either. All he had was 1st, 2nd, and overdrive. Well, he's been able to get the car in 4th gear. They've checked the linkage on the transmission. They can't find a problem, but there is something really wrong on the Jeremy Mayfield number 12 machine.
Ward Burton only won about 20 laps on those tires, Buddy, before had problems.
I would probably, if I was to guess, I would say he ran over something on the back straightaway and it started leaking down. As he entered that corner and touched the brake, it never turned. It went straight up and hit the outside wall.
Tough break for a man who's won one race. Hey, they tried to assassinate the president. Now they're after his daughter. The war against terrorism just got personal. A Superstation original First Daughter premieres August 15th only on the Superstation. Robert Presley had an opportunity to lead a couple of laps out here under caution. He is now pitted. And Jeff Gordon finds himself first with Mike Skinner second, Dale Jarrett third, Bobby Labonte fourth, Sterling Marlin fifth, Michael Waltrip is up to sixth, Rusty Wallace in seventh, Earnhardt eighth, John Andretti ninth, and Jeff Burton, 99, in that 10th position. Just outside of there is Stewart in 11th, getting ready on a restart. Down to Steve Burns.
Hey, Ken, Tommy Baldwin's taking a look at this tire. Tommy, what can we tell by this tire problem?
Well, you know, we're trying to determine if we either run over something or we had a tire problem from what we were running, an air pressure or a camber adjustment. It's real hard to tell right now. We got a split in the tire, and, you know, this split over here, so I'm saying it might be a camber problem with this 22 car. But, you know, we had a good car all day. We were a little loose, and we were hoping the track was going to come to us, and it's a shame. Shame.
All right, let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Just a quick update on the two leaders, Jeff Gordon and Mike Skinner. Routine pit stops, 4 tires for both, no adjustments for either car. I went down to talk to Larry McReynolds, crew chief for Skinner, and his sentiments are the same as Ray Evernham's. The bottom line, they're a little good in one corner, they're not quite as good as another, but they don't want to mess with it because there's still nearly 160 laps to go. They want to see if the track comes to them.
Coming down for 42 laps complete as they go back to green, buddy.
And another thing that drives guys crazy, you see up in that corner, turn 3 up there, it's shady up there. The clouds are starting to move in around here, and that drives the crew chief crazy, trying to adjust. At one corner will be great, the next corner not good at all.
Second caution period completed, and we're right back at it. It's Skinner versus Gordon for the lead in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. Skinner trying to make the move, going to that very difficult tunnel turn. He's made that move.
Wow. Skinner strong here this afternoon at Pocono. Gordon getting ready to come back at him again, though, coming out of the tunnel.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's got him. Going into 3.
Here comes Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett just flew up there. The third place car, that blue car in third place right there. Dale Jarrett, our points leader. He's sitting here watching this great race right now, not involving himself in anything that might get him in trouble.
Everybody on their feet as they come by side by side.
Oh, it's down there. 3 wide down the front straightaway.
For the lead. 3 wide, and Jarrett gets it.
Dale Jarrett with that board just swung down to the bottom of the track and put the move on the 2 leaders. Skinner comes after him now. Low coming out of turn 1. Gordon up on the outside. This for second place. Where a moment ago, those two were squared off in a duel for the lead. They're looking up from under right now.
Skinner moves back into second as they come across the tunnel turn.
Napa scoreboard running back through the field for you at this point.
To say is he's just being conservative. What's he do? He makes a left-hand turn at 200 miles an hour, passes both cars, and takes the lead.
That was a bonsai move. If you never saw a bonsai move in motorsports before, you just saw one there, executed perfectly by Dale Jarrett to take the lead.
Riding with Bobby Labonte. He's up to 4th position. Sterling Marlin back to 5th. And Mark Martin is now 10th on this field. He had to come from the longest line way back. After he had trouble on pit road, tire rolled loose, and he had to go to the end of the longest line. Look at this. Here comes Gordon another time.
Well, they put a whole bunch of new grandstand seats in here at Pocono. They're all filled up. This is why. This is what they came to see.
They better get the hammer and nails out and start building more. What a race. And look at Bobby Labonte mix it up. And Sterling Marlin. I think he's just waiting on this one.
Bobby Labonte in that green car there, number 18. Very, very strong. Gets a great run up out of the corner. He's closed in about 15 car left on the first, second, third place car in just a couple of laps there.
Looks like calisthenics down below. Everybody sits down, jumps up, sits down, jumps up every time they come out of 3.
Guess who this is right here? Mr. Earnhardt's on the move too, and that black number 3.
Up to 6.
They rolled the dice with that car this morning, threw some setup things at it, try to make it a little... Oh! John Andretti in trouble.
It's going to bring out your 3rd caution of the day as he slides down across the racetrack. Yellow is out.
Well, John crashed here in June, crashed in July.
Didn't want to do that.
No.
The petty team looking on.
Robbie Loomis, the crew chief, the fellow with the mustache there in the lower right-hand corner.
On the radio, putting the glasses on.
Oh, that was a hard hit.
That was a big hit.
Yep.
to the line comes the field, and they are competing as Richard Petty looks on, competing for leadership in the 45th lap. Everybody's given the signal to each other, and as they come across, it will be the 88. They don't get too racy coming back around until the final moments of these things, when they have to race back to the line. So Richard Petty's misfortunes with that 43 team continue here again at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Won earlier this year at Martinsville. They got a smoker down there. They want to get that hood up. Apparently a little oil fire out of the STP Pontiac. John Andretti. A look at what happened.
Okay, Tony Stewart right there is Tony Stewart. He and the 43 right there of John Andretti go down into turn 1 together. They make slight contact. You see Tony Stewart in the grass and back out into the 43. And when you touch there, you cannot save it.
Hard into the wall, driver's side. Hope he's okay.
Tony Stewart tried every way in the world to miss him. He ran out in the grass, then the car kicked back out into the racetrack and made contact on John Andretti.
There's Tony Stewart, the other person involved in that. That battle was back in 13th spot when it happened. Pulls up and has a chat with Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd running further back in the field. In the number 10 car. He's 12. Back in a moment. After the race, you can visit NASCAR Online, NASCAR's official website, and chat with our own Buddy Baker for a half hour. Buddy will take questions, comments about today's race. Submit your questions now, and then 30 minutes after our broadcast ends, go online and follow the chat live. For official NASCAR news and information 7 days a week, visit NASCAR Online at www.nascar.com. Here's John Andretti's car being brought back, and the other car involved was Tony Stewart's number 20. It has been on pit road, and Randy Pemberton can tell us more.
Certainly doesn't have nearly the damage that John Andretti does. Tony Stewart came down pit road. You can see the right front corner being buckled in there. That's where he made contact with John Andretti. So he came down pit road. While they were here, they decided to go ahead and change 4 tires. You see the right front tire changer was there, going to pull out that right front fender, and Tony Stewart back out and on the racetrack.
Replay from just a moment ago of number 20. And now live back on the track, Tony Stewart will have some racing to do because he's back in 35th position on the tail end of the lead lap. But remember, we saw Mark Martin back there, and what a job Mark has done. Pulled himself up to 9th, no less, and ready to challenge those leaders. Laps complete, 120 miles, and it's push me, pull me around here today. Just saw Darrell Waltrip, teammate to number 23, Jimmy Spencer, the Travis Carter team. He had to push him around, and number 33, there we see Schrader being pushed in. That's Dave Marcus giving the assist.
Yeah, they're both from the same part of the country up there. Dave Marcus right now helping Kenny Schrader get back. That's the second time Schrader's car is cut off today on him.
They talk about it as vapor lock. We'll try to get more for you on that story. Pocono Raceway has 3 very unique and difficult turns, but one really gets their attention.
I think the biggest thing is the tunnel turn seems to be the one place in the racetrack that you either make a lot of time or you can lose a lot of time. And, you know, it's whatever you do there, it's magnified.
I think it's probably more exciting going down the back straightaway into the tunnel turn because they figured, well, we got through turn 1. Let's just make it 5 wide going into tunnel turn, and tunnel turn's not quite as forgiving, so it ends up being a mess.
Fastest 20 feet would probably be the tunnel turn. I mean, it's fast. It's another place you can only get through there. You know, on the bottom on the single car line, you'll see us run through there too wide, but it's not good. But definitely the tunnel turn somewhere in it.
Indeed, the tunnel turn is a handful here at Pocono Raceway. Just about line going through it. Got to be on the gas. Just about 1 lane wide. Pretty exciting stuff wherever you look on this 2.5-mile track. Schrader's running better again in 33. We'll be back with more on that story and the rest of the Pennsylvania 500 in a moment. 50 laps complete of 200. There's Tony Stewart in 31st. Getting ready to go green here as they come down out of turn 3. Pace car is coming in. Leading the way, Jarrett. Gordon second, Skinner third, Labonte fourth, Sterling Marlin fifth, Earnhardt in sixth. Rusty Wallace up to seventh. Jeff Burton is eighth. There's Martin in ninth.
At 31 of Skinner in third place there. Just closed right in on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon. You're looking back at Jeff Gordon's car right now.
As we watch this battle for the lead, let's get down to Steve Burns.
And John Andretti has just come out of the infield care center. John, first of all, are you okay? Tell us what happened.
I'm okay. We were just passing the guy, and the person behind me, I guess, figured there was room underneath me, and went down in there. And unfortunately, when you get hit in the back, it's or left in the left rear. It's you know, you can't do much about it. So it's unfortunate, and it's tight racing, and things happen. So it put us out, but who knows? I mean, the Brickyard's coming up, so we're looking forward to it.
Tough break for John Andretti.
Get a good car today.
Talk about tight racing, and that he was talking about was Tony Stewart down to the inside. And Stewart has already picked off 2 spots. He's up to 29th now after starting 31st when they dropped the green after the 3rd caution of the day. Well, back with the leaders. And up in front, Jarrett leading, Gordon second, Bobby Labonte pressing in third, Mike Skinner right there looking at him.
Boy, it was pretty dramatic just a lap ago as they come down the front straightaway. Earnhardt helping Skinner. Bump draft right up there. Helped him really. It's kind of nice to have a teammate out there when you're fighting to get back to the front. Skinner lightning fast on fresh tires, though.
Yeah, I guess if somebody's going to belt you in the back bumper at 180 miles an hour, it's nice to know it's a friend, huh?
You bet. Here comes Gordon.
Down to the inside. Not this time.
Nothing there. But now Gordon picks the throttle up. He's on the lower side. You want to see Robert Yates' power? Here goes Dale Jarrett just flying down the back straightaway. Not many cars pass that car on the straightaway.
No, sir. A couple of car lengths advantage in the tunnel turn. Skinner sneaking a peek down to the inside. Here's Bobby Labonte. 3rd spot. Looking up at Gordon, and Jarrett deployed just in front of him. Out the back of Jarrett's car, there you see Gordon. And it's about 2.5 car lengths back from Jarrett to Gordon. From Jarrett's car back to Gordon in 2nd spot.
Remember about all the bonus points.
That's Todd Carrick telling his driver about bonus points, and why not? You lead the most laps, and you get 5 extra points. And Dale Jarrett has led the most laps here 2 out of the last 4 races at Pocono.
240-point advantage for Dale Jarrett as he comes in today in his quest for his 1st national title.
Bobby Labonte in that green car running in 3rd position didn't used to like Pocono. And why didn't he like it? Because he just couldn't crack a top 5. He did in this race in 1998, finished 4th, then he won here in June, riding 3rd now, right behind this duo. I bet he likes it a lot right now.
Bet you he does, too. Only 3 drivers since they started running 2 races at Pocono have swept. 82, Allison, Bobby did it. 85, Bill Elliott did it. And in 1986, the late Tim Richmond. Race summary for you after 54 of 200 laps. Jarrett out in front, 11 lead changes, 3 cautions, holding that average speed down to just 112 and change. 42 of 43 cars still out here. Quarter of the distance covered. Well, Jeff Gordon, defending champion in this race, lies right there in 2nd spot, perched on the rear deck of 88 as he went down that long pond straightaway. Back about a car length. Here's Elliott Sadler's number 21. Remember, he's out here, broken foot, crashed hard in qualifying yesterday. Elliott's in 35th position.
He's on the short chute right now. Let's see what he turns across here RPM-wise. 8,300 right along there. 157 miles an hour. Slows down to about 131, you could see there just for a second. Now he's coming out on the front straightaway, already up to 77, 79, 82, 83. Right there he shifts. Turning some RPM, I'm telling you. 8,500 as he enters turn 1.
Saw 193 there, didn't we?
There he shifts again. Now the long pond straightaway. We'll see what he runs down through here.
As you mentioned, broken foot, left foot broken yesterday. And again.
Oh, he missed a gear. Well, that's how he blew the engine twice. Blew 2 different motors doing that, missing a gear.
I think he may have done it there.
Yep.
Boy, that valve train took a pounding, didn't it?
Now, this racetrack is difficult enough on engines as it is. They run these high RPMs for so long here at Pocono. It's a sustained high RPM. The engine cycles are high. 15 engines have blown up in the races here in the last 3 tries.
36th position.
The one thing he had going for him right there is this transmission is almost bulletproof. The gears on it are 3 times what the normal gear pattern is like on a regular transmission, a straight valve transmission, and the motor didn't just scream up as he missed that gear.
It sounds all right now.
Got it back to 193 as he went back into turn number 1. Back up with the leaders. Jarrett Gordon Labonte. Dale Jarrett. What a story he has been this season. That Robert Yates car has been so consistent. That dramatic win at Michigan, when he just waxed them, the first 50 laps were as good as anything we've seen at Michigan. And then the last 100, my gosh, this number 88 just poured it on. It's like they had something to prove to the manufacturers up in Detroit. Take a look at here comes Gordon up on the outside.
Yow, that's hero material there. When you make a move on the outside coming off a corner like that, I'm not sure that something didn't happen to the 88. He lost a lot of momentum there.
Lost a lot of momentum, and here comes Bobby Labonte's 88, devouring him as they go to turn 3. Bobby,
he's got whatever was wrong, he's back.
It sounds strong.
Well, he just could have got down there, lost a little bit of grip in the corner, had to readjust. Mike Skinner now moves in on this trio.
Pole sitter was Mike Skinner today, that blue and yellow number 31. He is back with Larry McReynolds. 3 more years, they say they're going to be together. McReynolds not to form a new team for the year 2000. Take a look at who's moving up here today, making the big moves in this race.
Well, Jerry Nadeau has done well. Started 39th in the backup car, moved up to 18th spot. Jeffrey Bodine, who has led more laps here at Pocono than anybody else, from 41st to 20th. Steve Putt, 33rd to 13th, picked up 20. And Ricky Rudd is having a good day, too.
Bodine has won a couple of races here at Pocono. Sliding back through the field. Tough day for Schrader. Back to 35th. Vapor offers some kind of a problem. He's had to get some assistance out here.
Tony Stewart started out in 10th all the way back to 24th, and the reason for that was the accident with John Andretti down in turn 1.
He's now in 23rd position as he tries to clamber back up the ladder.
And Schrader's engine problems have put him in the back of the pack as well.
Whatever happened with Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, it didn't last very long.
It's rectified. He's right there in second spot.
You know, it was almost like he left a shifting point in turn 1 where Jeff Gordon went right around on the outside, and you don't normally do that to the 88 car if everything's pulling like it's supposed to.
Up to 6th spot. Number 6, Mark Martin. Remember, he started outside of the front row, fell all the way back, got a penalty. Tire jumped out on pit road. It cost him a stop and go. He was under caution just then, so he took the advantage of working on the radio. Came in a couple of times. He was all the way on the tail end of that lead lap, well back with 37, 38. Here he is, struggling with that broken wrist, that broken knee, those bruised ribs, and he's right back in the top 10, wanting to challenge Earnhardt.
look at the headrest on his helmet. Just move right over there as he goes through the corner. His head's trying to just pull right over. So they've got that aluminum headrest. Good thing they do, buddy.
Watch him when he shifts here. You talk about getting in gear in a hurry. No clutch whatsoever. Just jerks it back into gear. Right there, he's back into third gear as he comes around through the corner.
You watch his head move to the right and up a little bit. He is constantly checking his rear view mirror to see where everybody is, to make sure that no one is in his quarter panel when he comes down on entry to a turn. There he is looking back again, or on the outside as he comes off the turn to move out toward the wall.
Completing 155 miles and right back, ready to fight it out. Oh, wow, what an event this guy is putting on for these fans. Packed house at Pocono, Pennsylvania, watching Mark Martin move in on Dale Jarrett. How about this? Gordon first, Dale Jarrett second. They had a little difference of opinion about third spot at New Hampshire. Oh, my heart. The state troopers out here. Smokey's checking on the speeds. Pass out those tickets.
He's up here, sir.
The Pennsylvania 500 on TBS Superstation is brought to you by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By Holiday Inn Express, who invite you to stay smart. And by Texaco, a world of energy.
162.5 of 500 miles have been completed here. 65 laps in the record book at Pocono, Pennsylvania. 26th annual Pennsylvania 500, and it has been a dandy thus far. What, 11, 12 lead changes so far in this race? As many as we had, what, in the whole deal a year ago in 500 miles. Right now, Jeff Gordon has the advantage over Dale Jarrett in second. There's Bobby Labonte pressing the deal in third. And Mike Skinner, who sat on the pole, is back in fourth. Big story of the moment is Mark Martin, who has worked his way back up to the field to sixth position and is ready to come after these leaders. And Tony Stewart, well, he's the 18th position, if you will, and ready to challenge Ernie Irvan out there. Take a look now. Looks to me like the 88's back in here, buddy.
Yes, sir. Dale Jarrett is closing down. It's down to car lengths now. Just a second ago, it was about 25 car lengths. Now it's down to about 15. And Jarrett is really picking it up quite a bit.
Across the evil elbow, limited racing groove. Very restricted sight, high speed, unsettled by ripple strips on the inside. Look at Stewart go. And then on the outside, that unforgiving concrete wall. And here's Ernie Irvan falling back a spot to Stewart. And that's going to push Stewart into 16th. With a lap and a half to go at New Hampshire, Stewart was leading, looking for that first win, and ran out of gas. Hey, Tony, how do you deal with that?
You're going to win some that way, you're going to lose some that way. And Bobby won one that way, we lost one that way. But, you know, at the time that it happened, nobody wanted to be around me, and I didn't want to be around anybody. But, you know, after an hour went by and I calmed down and took a step back to look at the big picture, you realize that, hey, as a rookie, I had a shot at winning a Winston Cup race. So, you know, when you think about it that way, it makes you feel a lot better about it.
Saw Stewart just go around Rudd and take 15.
Well, you said it at Daytona, Ken. These guys have learned how to race, and they've learned how to race well. What they now have to do is learn how to win.
He knows how to win. He's won a bunch of races. He started his racing career in go-karts, and he's been three-time champion in 1 year. Midgets, sprint cars, and Silver Crown. Tony Stewart knows how to win.
But he hasn't done it in the Winston Cup, and I think that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Have you ever heard the old song, Just a Matter of Time?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're looking at right there, because he is absolutely so gifted, and he will win before the end of the year.
Not a question. I think he will win. It's just a matter of, he sure can race.
He might win this afternoon. He's good enough. There's no question. He's got a car that's good enough. He is absolutely a good enough driver, and then some to win this afternoon. And he has a terrific pit crew working with him as well.
No question in those other disciplines. He's proven that he can get it done. He's just got to get it together here, and this could be the day, as it appeared in New Hampshire, where he led 118 laps before that critical moment. And it's a team thing, too. I think they were all down. about that race when it was over.
Well, he's had such a good year.
And the whole group.
Yep.
He is a proven champion of open cockpit racing, that's for sure, in the midgets. He's proven himself in these Indianapolis cars. And I think everyone agrees that he is on the threshold of a glorious Winston Cup career. This man in number 20, youngster, really, Tony Stewart.
He's going to win a lot of races in these Winston Cup cars, no question about it. His rookie year was an incredible rookie year. 10 top 10s so far, 4 top 5s, a pole. He won the Winston Open, did Indy to Charlotte. I mean, this guy, tell you, he's light years ahead of where he thought he'd be.
Look at Mark Martin. He's come around, number 99. Moved past Ward Burton. He has cleared out Earnhardt. He is on the fly up to 5th spot, number 6, Mark Martin. On board with Jeff Burton.
Look at him, Mark Martin, come off turn 3 there down the front straightaway. It's nice to have a teammate that can draft with you, but Mark says, yeah, oh, he's dropping back and letting the 99 go by as we speak.
Well, they're teammates, you know, and they do work very well together. If Mark thinks the 99's faster, he'll let him go.
Particularly these two. It's a 5-car team, and these two in the team talk a lot, work together all the time. You know that story, Dick Burton.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, if you ask Jeff Burton who the best race driver is in Winston Cup today, he'd tell you Mark Martin. And I've asked Mark, who's the best driver? And Mark says, it's Jeff Burton.
Let me add to that a little bit. He wouldn't be in the 99 car if it wasn't for Mark Martin. Mark Martin went to Jack Roush, said this guy has a lot of talent, give him a chance, and I'll guarantee you you'll like his style.
There you see him, Jeff Burton. In that number 99, a year ago in this race, those Roush cars were 2nd and 3rd. Martin and Jeff Burton just behind Jeff Gordon when this race was over. After a hard crash up here in turn number 3, if you're just joining us, Caterpillar number 22 whomped the wall hard in turn 3. 71 complete. We're within 7 or 8 laps. We should be seeing pit stops again here in the Pennsylvania 500. Let's check in with those pit reporters as to what we can anticipate with an STP pit roundup. Randy Pemberton first.
Just spoke with crew chief Ray Evernham for Jeff Gordon. I asked him how the car was, what they would do. He said right now the car is a little tight everywhere, although the weather conditions are changing that somewhat. Clouds coming in and out. What they're going to do is probably just adjust it with a little air pressure. Put some tires on the car that have just a little bit of pressure. Mike Cogwood.
Todd Parrott has just talked to his driver. They're happy with the way the number 88 Ford is performing, which is amazing when you consider that they virtually rebuilt the car, and they are happy. No changes, 4 tires, and a full tank of fuel when they come in. Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, Jimmy Maycar's crew, the number 18 of Bobby Labonte, they're formulating their strategy. One of the guys on the crew told me that Bobby says the track feels like it's getting greasy, which is to say he's losing grip to the racetrack. They will definitely put on 4 tires, and we'll see what minor adjustments they make when the number 18 of Bobby Labonte comes down pit road.
Top 3 in this race, Gordon, Jarrett, Labonte. We're getting close to a fuel stop here. Change the tires. Stay with us at Pocono. For all the news in sports and much more, log on to cnnsi.com, the ultimate address in sports. Well, that's how they're deployed right now for first spot. Jeff Gordon is in front with 75 and 200 laps complete. Dale Jarrett lies right there in 2nd spot. Bobby Labonte in 3rd, Mike Skinner in 4th, Jeff Burton in 5th. And all of a sudden, we're getting reports that there may be some telltale wisps of smoke coming off the back of the 99. And we know that Jack Roush has headed down to the 99 pit. So we'll be following that story. Buddy?
Ken, that'll be pretty easy to spot as he makes his pit stop in just a few laps. The back panel there looks very clean, though. Does not look like there's a lot of grease coming up on the back panel of the car.
That's out the back of Jeff Burton's 5th place car at the present time, number 99, the Excite car. Oh,
Charlie, look at this.
How about that?
Power move on the high side.
Well, it just happened to him just a little while ago. Looking back at Jeff Gordon, he's got to go, wait a minute. That was a replay of what I did to you not long ago.
We've seen an awful lot of passing on the high side, buddy, more than we ordinarily see here at Pocono.
I think it has to do with shifting. I think if you just happen to not get it in gear at the proper time or anything like that and break momentum, the car that's already in gear gets a jump on you out of that corner.
Gordon looking up from under, the defending champion in the Pennsylvania 500. Settling this lap, and that crowd up and cheering. As Dale Jarrett takes that number 88 right back to the point. They're fidgeting with first place in the Pennsylvania 5. Oh,
whoa, what happened?
Way back. Something is amiss on the number 24. The defending champion is slowing down.
He's in the great part of the racetrack, and he looks to be way off power right now. Oh, right front tire.
Jeff Gordon's lost the right front. He is just now on the middle of the Long Pond Straight, a long way back to pit road.
No, not only that, it's tearing that right front corner off of that car. You see the left front also vibrating very, very hard.
Take a look at that crowd.
He felt it going down, moved up near the wall in case it did go completely flat. It waited until the straightaway, but look at the front end of that car.
Let's get to Randy.
Hey, guys, just before that, Jeff Gordon drove down into turn 1. He said, Ray Evernham, I don't know if the right front is going to make it. Ray said, go ahead and pull over. Let the 88 car of Jarrett go by if you have to. Jeff was complaining about the car had a pretty good pit push. The next time by, that right front went. Jeff was on the radio immediately, totally disappointed.
Well, it's going to be very interesting because I'm sure they're going to have to do some body work also on the 24. That tire is really giving that fender a whipping right now.
And he's falling all the way back and then some. Yeah, you can see the whole thing is beat up on the backside.
Here he comes, pit road.
He just made it to pit road. Just made it. He was stuck on the outside.
The interliner out also. Now he's dragging the car on the pit road there. The interliner blew just as he entered the pits.
Well, this team had no more opportunity to have a bad day if they wanted to win the Winston Cup Championship. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
What they're going to try and do here is go ahead and put tires on it, see if they can get the sheet metal away from the right side, and go ahead and get caught back up. Here they go, peeling on the pits. They do not want to lose a lap here, so they're going to try and work on it next time by.
Caution is on. I'm sure that's for debris on the racetrack.
Has to be. I mean, there's rubber all the way around the racetrack. It was flying everywhere down the back straightaway. They're holding Gordon right now. This stop paddle right here at the end of pit road, they're holding him.
See the tire that came off on the right front. What an interesting call from Randy Pemberton. We saw the 88 go by, and it was a call from Ray Evernham to said let him go through. And in turn 1, he's lucky he didn't get that one in the wall. Buddy.
Okay, Jeff Gordon is the second car right there. They head down the front straightaway. Gordon knows right now that things are not right. You see him starting in the corner, and the right front corner is already dragging if he starts in the corner there. Flat tire, up towards the wall he goes. Now he gets control of the car. He still has the interliner up. He's trying to come in on the interliner. There's a tire inside of that tire that you can run on. Now, as he starts down the back straightaway, this tire starts to come apart, and it does a lot of damage to the body panels in that car.
Buddy, I'd say that was a great save by him.
Well, the main thing he didn't do, and people at home, he did not lock the brakes up. Had he slammed the brakes on, it would have blew the interliner out and hard into the outside wall. That's hard not to do. You have to have a lot of discipline not to jump on the brakes.
But you can see it's a very anti-Gordon crowd here at Pocono. There's 140,000 plus. And they sure want to see Labonte or Jarrett, usually anybody but Gordon, up in front. Interesting story. 39th position is where Jeff Gordon is being shown at the present time, and 1 lap down. So, leaders are coming onto pit road. It is under caution. First one to stop is Bobby Labonte. They go to work, and this is under yellow.
Okay, now Gordon's going to go around, get up with the pace car. Now he's back on the tail end of the lead lap now.
See the seconds trickling off, track position. Here comes Bobby Labonte out. Remember, he came in first. And now coming along is Mike Skinner in the 31. Skinner getting a big break here.
Boy, look at that pit stop. 16-4, 16-3.
Larry McReynolds and company.
Yep.
Looks like Bobby Labonte leads him off the green car there, the 18.
Skinner in second. And there is Bobby Labonte making a few adjustments. Pulling those belts a little tighter as he gets ready to go back at it here. They have completed 80 of the 200 laps in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. And here comes on again, off again, Ken Schrader today. Could be twice he's had problems. Pushed in once it faded, caught and came back. Now it's in trouble another time.
He's getting some help from Mike Skinner's crew. Those guys aren't from Schrader's team. They're from Mike Skinner's team, and they're helping him along.
Yeah, but it's not refiring right now. They're just pushing him.
Yep. It's a tough break for Schrader. I want to see him win another race and do it soon. We'll take a commercial break right here. Then we'll be back with more of the story of the Pennsylvania 500. Live today on TBS. Glad to have more. They're continuing to administer to Jeff Gordon's number 24 on pit road. He's being shown in 39th. But another story is developing further up pit road in the pit area of Dale Jarrett. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Brian Clark got his foot ran over by the car, and the medics are here attending to him. He is a crewman for Dale Jarrett. He's in a lot of pain right now. Todd Parrott just came by and said, hey, he thinks he's going to be okay, but Brian is really in some pain. We'll update you on his condition in just a few minutes. The medics have just gotten here to the Dale Jarrett pit.
Dale Jarrett car came out in 4th place. Let's take a look at a replay, buddy, of that pit stop again. As Dale Jarrett was finishing and trying to get back on the track in that battle for track position. It was further back. Left rear tire guy was the guy that got hit. Left rear tire man.
Changer in the left rear. Yeah, changer is Brad Parrott, so that's definitely not Brad. Look at this. Schrader still can't get that car fired.
So as they get ready to go again, Jeremy Mayfield finds himself in front after these pit stops. Bobby Labonte second, Skinner third, and Dale Jarrett fourth.
Brought to you by Winnebago Industries. For information on Winnebago Industries products for the Winnebago Motorsports team, call 1-800-642-4892. Mack trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sale. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. Featherlight, the official trailer of NASCAR Kart, IRL, NHRA, ASA, and the World of Outlaws. Call Featherlight for trailer and motor coach needs at 1-800-800-1230. And by LA West Luxury Vans, available at select dealerships nationwide. Call for a free video, 1-800-786-VANS.
Here's Jeff Gordon in the 24 with a lot of patchwork done to the right front of the automobile. Let's summarize his day for just a moment. How it's gone for Jeff Gordon. Back on lap 29, you saw him scrambling to get around Mike Skinner. A little bump drafting here. Lap 31, going for third. Pass on Sterling Marlin. Put him into second. Lap 38, Ward Burton. Disaster up in the corner, and that gave Gordon the lead. But then, this brilliant move by Dale Jarrett, storming to the inside and steaming the 88 out in front as he swept them 3 wide. Lap 58, here comes Gordon back around Dale Jarrett. Lap 77. Blackwood for number 24, Jeff Gordon. And a lucky one going into turn 1 as that tire started to go down. Well, he's back on the track, and Gordon is being shown in 38th position. Dale Jarrett's number 88 out there in 4th. Mike Hogwood is in his pits.
Well, as we said a moment ago, the injured crew member is Brian Clark. is the rear tire carrier. They have called for a stretcher, and it's really tight here on pit road. Medics are going to try to get the stretcher down here in just a moment. Mike? They're going to fill in for him with someone from the Kenny Irwin crew. Of course, these are both Robert Yates teams, but there are a number of the 28 team members here helping out in this pit, and the stretcher is on its way right now for
Mike Hogwood.
Brian Clark.
Mike Hogwood?
Yes.
The speculation up here, Dick Bergen was saying he wondered if Brian Clark might have been run over by another car other than his own in that tight pit area.
That's the speculation. Several of the crew members have told me that they think it might have been Rick Mass' car, which is the car that's pitting right behind him, which was the one that actually hit him.
Brian Clark was the carrier on that left rear tire. Every of those positions, very important roles, and we'll update you on the story as the day continues. Labonte first, Skinner second, Jarrett third, and Mark Martin to fourth, facing off against this very difficult Pocono 2.5 mile. Bobby Labonte is up in front, the 18 car. Bobby, what about it? What's the scariest corner at Pocono?
I think the corner that concerns me the most here is turn 1, because you're hauling butt down in there 198 miles an hour or whatever, and downshifting hard on the brake, turning the wheel, trying to make almost a 90-degree corner to come back. And I mean, if something happens, I mean, I know you're going fast, but you're slowing down, but if something happens, you ain't going slow enough. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just one of the scariest corners that you go into, because you're just running so fast, and you got about a mile to think about it before you get there, so that don't help out much.
And they're about to go into turn 1, but from under green. Second time by, that'll give you a thrill. And they're taking Brian Clark back to the infield care center here at the Pocono Raceway. Injured crewman for Dale Jarrett.
They had already wrapped his foot, so we at least know it was his foot that was injured.
84 laps complete, 210 miles as we get ready to go green. Pontiac. Interstate Batteries car. Number 18, Bobby Labonte to bring him down. Skinner right there in second, Jarrett third. Mark Martin back to fourth.
Green flag, green flag.
Coming to the line. They are showing 37 cars in the lead lap. Labonte says this is the tough one going into 1, but it will be on that second lap when they are at high speed. And look at them spread out, try to get a run into turn number 1.
That was Ernie Irvin on the bottom of that yellow car. He's all the way back in 14th spot, but trying to pick up position.
Here comes Skinner down to the bottom.
Mike Skinner very, very fast on fresh tires as he goes down the back straightaway there. Dale Jarrett just behind him. Bobby Labonte lets him go right on by. He's in this thing for the long run. Didn't want to fight him going into the tunnel turn.
Getting up to speed. Short shoot for turn 3. Out of that notorious tunnel corner.
And Mark Martin right there. I'm telling you, he's on the move right now already, all the way back up to 4th. At one time, he was at the back of this field.
And right behind him, Dale Earnhardt. He's having a terrific day here at Pocono. Don't count him out either.
They're making a lot of changes on the number 3 through happy hour yesterday. And his buddy Baker's working a lot of them all apart down there this morning. Still massaging, still looking for a little bit more. Earnhardt's found it. Riding with Bobby Labonte as he closes in on Mike Skinner.
If you want to know how fast you're going, look at those trees going by. Those are pretty good-sized trees, and they look like picket fence down through there.
Tony Stewart on the move. Tony Stewart under Marlin. That's for 10th position. Number 20 picks it up. Marlin comes back.
That won't last very long. Tony Stewart has the preferred line as they head down into turn 3.
Tony Stewart also picked off Labonte in that pack. That would give him 9th. Labonte fell back 2 spots as Sterling Marlin moved through as well. And up into the top 10 again is Tony Stewart. Skinner still first. There you see in this picture, the 9th place car, number 20, Tony Stewart. Wow.
now. Whoa, trouble. Sterling Marlin, trouble. Smoke out the back.
The real problem is the cars behind him right now, going through that oil, as you can see, going down in the corner, put out a big plume of smoke.
Track still is green.
There's definitely oil coming out the back of that car. I don't know the damage, though. He still looks like he was, well, now he's starting to come in towards the pit.
Fifth caution of the day, number 5 in the yellow category for Sterling Marlin. And back to the line they come. Now, that's got to be frustrating for them.
And they have been one of the cars that's had great practice time all the way through the whole week and has great expectations for today.
Skinner back to the line. Saw Dale Jarrett just dip down as if he might want to take a shot at going up there for first.
Sterling is still out there. He's coming around. Maybe it's something they can fix on this car, hopefully.
Well, you know he hopes they can fix it because he has been running very, very well today. It may not be the rotor.
But they must have seen something come out from under the car, or they would not have thrown the yellow.
You can see this line right here.
Yep.
Pardon my painting there, but he's putting out a pretty good grease stream behind him there.
May have got boxed in and just couldn't get on pit road. We saw that almost happen a little earlier out here. Car got up on the outside with Stewart or Gordon, got up on the outside, couldn't duck in.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, when you see that smoke fly up and you're running 200 miles an hour, you don't know exactly what might happen in front of you. You talk about your foot hitting you in the mouth, now that'll make it happen.
Buddy, it's so quick coming out of 3. It catches you sometimes off guard how far up that pit road begins here at Pocono.
Yeah, you have to really be careful. Chad Little last race here come in a little bit fast, touched the brake, got the car upset, and backed it into the pit wall. You see Sterling out of the way now. That's a return road out of the racetrack itself. Now he's back on the racetrack again.
Well, he doesn't have any choice. That return road ends, but he's going to stay low on the racetrack, get as little oil as possible out there.
Now when he gets up to turn 3, he'll get on the return road again and get out of harm's way. Maybe.
He'll be in, and Sterling Marlin will get a report on that. Here he is coming down on pit road.
That's that return road I was talking about. You see the racetrack out here. Well, the return road is about 15, 20 yards this side of the racetrack itself.
Sterling Marlin's number 40. He eases down off the track. He certainly gave it a good shot. Was on the pole at 170.5. We'll have a report for you as to what the condition is, but it doesn't look good for the heart of that number 40. Sterling Marlin's car here in the Pennsylvania 500 today. Let's get down to Steve Burns right now.
Well, Ken, number 40 of Sterling Marlin sits dead on pit road. The engine is off. He came down pit road with no oil pressure. They're trying to reattach an oil line that came loose and adding oil that has come out of the race car. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, we're waiting for Jeff Gordon to hit pit road here as he crawls slowly. The tape, the 200-mile-an-hour tape on the right front fender flapping in the breeze. They're going to send about 4 guys over, including crew chief Ray Evernham. They're going to go ahead and string the car. You see the string on the right side? That's called setting the toe. They want the front tires to be running true with the rear tires. It's called setting the toe. They want the front end to be right. Once they get done setting the front end, they'll let the rest of the guys over to go ahead and repair the damaged front end. One thing that's in the Gordon's benefit here is caution laps take so long at a place like Pocono because it's 2.5 miles around a flat track. They have plenty of time to work on this race car. Of course, he's had one of his roughest days here of the season, but he's got plenty of time to make it up here.
Still being shown back in the 39th position. We lost one of the men that helped so much in the growth of NASCAR, a great car owner in this past week. Harry Ranier passed on, Kentucky gentleman who built so many great race cars and won 24 Winston Cup victories with such drivers as Cale Yarborough and that guy there, Buddy Baker in the middle. That in the blue and white hat was Harry Ranier. He will be sorely missed. He brought along a lot of great young talent. Davey Allison, for one. I'll never forget in Homestead, Florida, Harry Ranier saying to me, "I'd like you to meet the next Jeff Gordon." And he introduced me to Tony Stewart about 5 years ago.
Well, he had a tremendous eye for talent. And I tell you something, he made my racing career. He said, "I'm going to hire you for one reason. I want to see you win the Daytona 500 for me." And he made a dream come true. His wake is today in Kentucky. Harry, we'll miss you much.
And he won the fastest Daytona 500 in history, Harry Ranier, with Buddy Baker at the controls. They continue to nurse Jeff Gordon's car back into some semblance of health to try to get it in this thing and score some points. Remember, he's running way down in the standings this afternoon. 24 car currently being shown in 36th position, all taped up, ready to come out. The go sign to him as he comes along. Let's go to Mike Hogwood on pit road.
Well, we've talked about the Brian Clark story, the injured crew member for Dale Jarrett, and some said, well, it may have been the car behind us that hit us. I talked to two guys who were up there changing the tires, and they told me that what happened was the car came down off the jack, and Brian's foot was underneath the car, so the actual tire of the car came down on his foot when the jack came down, and that hurts. Ouch.
Brian Clark has been taken to the infield care center here at Pocono. 91 laps, 227.5 miles complete. Still cleaning up the track from Sterling Marlin's oil problems. Mid-race distance here. Pennsylvania 500, 8 away from halfway. Mike Skinner, who sat on the pole at the outset, is the leader with Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, and Dale Earnhardt rounding out the top 5. That's right, Earnhardt is very much in this thing. Just behind him, Jeff Burton, trying to get an update for you on the Burton car. There have been reports of wisps of smoke off that machine. Rusty Wallace to 7th. Wally Dallenbach having a great race in 8th, followed by Stewart up to 9th. Moving up out here, well, moving on up is Tony Stewart, currently 9th in that 31st position, buddy.
Wow, what a drive he's put on here. But there's a lot of people that's moved forward. As you can see, some of them hadn't, though. Some went the other way.
Sliding back. Gordon took a big dip. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Well, Frank Stoddard, the crew chief on the 99, seems pretty calm and relaxed. I said, Frank, still a problem out there on that 99 machine? He just looked at me, put his thumb straight up in the air, and says, we're okay. I looked over at Buddy Parrott and says, how are things? Buddy smiles, stuck his thumb straight up in the air, says, we're good to go. So that's the word from here in the 99 pit.
You know, when a car's running real good, every once in a while, somebody will just test him. They'll say, you know, I think he's losing a little bit of oil.
All right, we're getting back down towards a race start. Hey, take a look at Hut Strickland today. He's in 12th. He's been running 12th to 18th most of the day. He started 29th. His car's had a lot of ill fortune and misfortune. Ricky Craven took a shot at it. Loy Allen's been in it. And Hut Strickland is having a very good day in number 58.
That seems to be a combination that's working. Shirley Hutt and this team have done better so far than anybody else. And, you know, you just got to have all the mix right. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Hey, Dick, Robert Presley just came in for an unusual pit stop. His right foot was burning up. It sits right on the floorboard, and this is what they just gave him, this piece that fits over the heel of his driving shoe. Now, you want to know how hot it is on the racetrack? Take a look at this heat gun, 130 degrees on the asphalt on this racetrack.
And to add to that, where his foot is, there's 1,200 degrees right under the floorboard on the exhaust pipes going out the side of that race car, and your foot's there. If you're a left foot braker, you leave your foot on the floor all the time against the accelerator.
Did you ever burn your foot, buddy?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I've had some severe burns on my right foot. But they didn't have those things back when I run. You just wrapped them up in some kind of 200-mile-an-hour tape and went on about your business.
Put your feet in the fire and went for it. Dick Bergman?
Yeah, and the reason for this, as we look at Dale Earnhardt here, they run the exhaust right out the left-hand side of the car. That's because the cars roll in the corner, and you don't want to roll over on top of the exhaust.
He's sitting right on top of that exhaust, and it is 1,200 degrees.
We're watching
a lot of stories from there.
And as we're watching this on the racetrack in the garage area right now, they've got a passenger car pushing Kenny Schrader's car, trying to restart it, believe it or not.
Talking about your heel, the other thing, they have an aluminum seat that wraps around the driver. I made the mistake of pouring water down my back one time. It was Buddy a la jour.
Oh, my heart. That'll just boil it up. Awful lot of heat in these cars.
We're getting the field reset for a start with Skinner, Labonte, Jarrett to duke it out. And they're still cleaning up this oil spill that we've had here. Valdez. Coming up tomorrow, 7:35 on the Superstation, Atlanta Braves take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Braves struggling lately. Can they turn it around? Catch all the action tomorrow night on the Superstation. Pretty perky Pocono infield crowd here today. They're having a wonderful time. Elliott Sadler story. By the way, rain is being reported about 20 miles from here. Keep track of that. There's Elliott. Broken left foot. Qualifying yesterday, he hammered the wall down here in turn number 1. He's got to be in some pain, but he's been trying to smile through it, keep focused on getting this Wood Brothers number 21 into a successful vein back here on this 2.5-mile track.
As we get ready to go again, they've got Kenny Schrader's car started, and he has just rejoined the field. Gee, I hope that wasn't a rental car they were using to push start that thing.
Wow. He's like 15 laps down to the leader. Schrader back in 40th.
One of the dramas right now is on the inside of our leader. Jeff Gordon's going to try to get himself back in the lead lap again.
95 complete. They come to the stripe. Skinner, Labonte, Jarrett make that 96 laps now complete as they head into turn number 1. Getting towards halfway.
The 23 there, Jimmy Spencer got the jump on the 24 of Jeff Gordon. He's not up to speed as he comes off the corner there. The car is not handling the shooting. You see him move over and let the cars go by on the outside.
Well, here you see Gordon. He has stayed just a lap down to the leaders. Gordon is in 36, 1 lap down. Leader Skinner holding it for the moment. Stay there to halfway, $10,000 bonus. There you see Mark Martin down to the end. And here comes Earnhardt.
Earnhardt on the go there. The black 3 is definitely on the move right now.
Flashy move by Earnhardt. And he's going to pick up another spot. Find himself in 4th. Relegates Martin to 5th. Back for turn number 1. Let's watch this scramble and dogfight. Deck of number 3 is Mark Martin. Earnhardt trying to draw away. He's in 4th and looking for Jarrett in 3rd. Just completed the 5th caution of the day. After Sterling Marlin after he broke an oil line.
Mark Martin looking to the inside of Earnhardt as they start down at turn 3. Does not have the position, though, to make the move.
Richard Childress having a good time right now. Mike Skinner is in the lead in one of Richard Childress' cars. This is the other, currently in 4th spot. Team cars, 1st and 4th.
Riding along with Mark Martin as he shifts there. Don't waste much time as he moves in on Earnhardt.
Let's see if Martin can make the move down here in 1.
Shifts down, going in the corner. Picks up the throttle a little bit there. Closes in on Earnhardt as they start down Long Pond straightaway.
How do they get that number 3 through inspection? It's so wide, but
I tell you what, I know he's enjoying it right now because he and Mark Martin have staged some great races. See Mark Martin into the tunnel turn shifting again. 4 times he'll shift that car in 1 lap.
The back of Mark Martin's car. Looking back at Jeff Burton in the 99, he is in 6th spot, looking from 5th. Back to 6th. Rusty Wallace is 7th. Dallenbach 8th. Tony Stewart is sustaining 9th at the present time. As they continue to fidget and fight for first place, Skinner is there. But here comes Bobby Labonte trying to do what only 3 other drivers since they started having 2 races here at Pocono in 1982 have ever accomplished. Sweep it at Pocono, Pennsylvania in the course of a summer.
Jimmy Spencer from the 23 is down laps. He's a couple down. Currently running at 37th spot.
Down 2 indeed.
You see him get on the brakes there and let these guys that are fighting for position go by as they head into tunnel turn.
Coming to halfway. Halfway this time by. As they come to the line, to decide the halfway distance on this event, we'll have Mike Skinner in front. Here he is clearing turn 3. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Ken, you just talked about the 23 of Jimmy Spencer from local Berwick, Pennsylvania. They have had an ignition problem. They switched ignition boxes. That did not clear it up. The engine has a skip. They just can't figure it out.
Spencer down a couple of laps here. Down 2.
How about this Bobby Labonte in second place in that green, number 18. Really closing in on Mike Skinner. He won here in June. We know he has the car, and he's making a move. Gordon comes down pit road again.
Jeff Gordon on pit road another time, this time under green. He's going to give up a lap here. He was 1 down in 36th position.
He's going to have a pretty serious problem for this. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
They're going to go ahead and shut the motor off. Jeff Gordon thought the car felt a little funny even during caution laps prior to going green. He just couldn't get a sense of what it was. They're not sure. They're going to go ahead and lift the hood. They have to tear all that tape away as well, and they're going to check the right front. They don't know what's wrong with it, but the wheel suddenly jerked out of his hand and kind of jerked to the right. So he wants to come in and take a good look at it. They're going to go ahead and string it again and try and check the toe in.
Well, all that trouble that came from the rubber feeding on the race car will damage all sorts of things.
5th in points when he came in. Race is now official. Completed that 101st lap.
There's going to be a new sheriff in town, too. I'm watching. Here comes Mark Martin on the inside of Dale Earnhardt as they head down the back straightaway. Martin very quick in that part of the racetrack.
Back to 4th. Mark Martin. And if you're just joining us, this is the story of the race for so many of us. Here is a guy with a broken knee, a broken wrist, bruised ribs. Takes 2 guys to load him in there, and he comes out, runs up for the front row in qualifying, has fought his way back from the end of the longest line, 35th and 36th, and he's ready to challenge the leaders. This is Batesville, Arkansas's Mark Martin, and if you want to define what stock car racing is all about, the name is Mark Martin.
Yes, and his teammate right there got by Earnhardt also.
Look at Jeff Burton. Looking back at Earnhardt now. He's beginning to show some muscle.
Yeah, Earnhardt lost 2 spots in that last lap around there. Mark Martin went by, and his teammate Jeff Burton also made the pass on Earnhardt.
Looking back at the 1987 and 93 champion of the Pennsylvania 500, Jarrett, from Jeff Burton's perspective, in that Exide Pontiac.
Well, that's all blue skies you see on that side of the racetrack. But we have clouds that are moving into the speedway, as you can see, coming off this corner here in the background. It's much darker.
Naturally, that guy in front is saying, you can't wait for that shower.
Well, maybe there won't be one.
Everybody else is saying, let it rain on somebody else's parade. We want to go up here and go after it.
Dale Jarrett is closing in on the second place battle as we watch Mark Martin pull away from the 99 Jeff Burton a little bit as they go around the racetrack.
Remember, Burton in 4th. Burton in 5th. Martin in 4th. On board right now with your 5th place car, Jeff Burton, as he tries to close in on Mark Martin, 4th place car. Top 3, Skinner, Labonte, Jarrett.
Burton runs really, really well here. He's got top 5 finishes in 4 of his last 5 starts here at Pocono. He's been 3rd twice in a row in this event. And boy, what a race he pulled off at New Hampshire a couple of weeks ago, coming all the way from 38th spot to win the thing. They weren't sure they put quite enough fuel in it at the very end. They just had enough to win the race.
There's going to be a battle for second place. You see Dale Jarrett here in the blue car moving in on Bobby Labonte, the green car there, catching him every lap around. 2-3 car lengths.
Jarrett definitely has intentions on this Pennsylvania 500. Wouldn't it be something if he stormed up 2 and won it? Had to change just about everything underneath that car yesterday. The rear gears got changed, the transmission got changed, the motor was changed this morning. It sure is running flawlessly right now.
Remember in July of 1995, this very race, Ken Squire, Dale Jarrett was just about to lose his ride in front of virtually everybody in the garage area. He came to Pocono, started in 15th position, led just 26 laps, but won it. And they said, aha, he can drive after all. I guess he can.
Mark Martin pulling over to the inside of the racetrack to let his teammate go by. We've seen this act before. Right at the moment, Jeff Burton's a little quicker than Martin, and they work together like that. They'll take times on which car is faster in front. That's Jeff Gordon on the far left over there.
I was going to say, I bet both of these guys like this a lot.
There you can see of dark clouds that we were talking about. That's going in the tunnel turn back over to the, I guess that would be to the west. There's just a little bit of dark clouds. I don't think that's going to be a problem today.
Gordon's now 6 laps down, but 6 back.
Boy, it's got to be tearing him up. He had nothing but great luck last year. This year, they can't buy a break, it don't seem.
39th position, 39.
Well, he's finished 20th 6 times already this year. Just twice he was over 20th in all of 1998. Been a tough year for Jeff Gordon and his fans. He's fast, but he just is having some things happen that didn't happen to him in his championship-winning years.
It usually happens to everybody else but him, remember?
Yes, and we're talking about that. Dale Jarrett has nothing but good luck. He's out on the racetrack yesterday, has a gear locked up. If that had been the second lap of the race, you have to have luck along with it. You say you work hard, you do this and that. What if that gear hadn't given him the problem? And second lap into the race, he'd have the problem. He would have been sitting on the sidelines right now instead of third place as he's going around the racetrack. You have to have that luck to win the championship. This year, everything's going right for the Jarrett team.
By 240 points going into today, and he's building on that point lead right now.
Did you see how close Jarrett came to the wall coming off that corner?
Now, that wasn't exactly what I was talking about.
But that's, I tell you what, that was pretty driving. It really was. He is dancing with that race car today, just carrying it through the corners. He and that car are one.
I tell you, he's having a pretty good run. That's Bodine. Jeffrey Bodine in the number 10 car, or the number 60 car, finds himself in 10th at the present time. Jeffrey Bodine.
Talking about Jeffrey Bodine, he's the lap leader of all times here with 784 laps that he's led in this particular races up here in Pocono.
Yeah, but he's looking for his first top 10 since Rockingham. And he was 8th place there. So this is a good run right now for the power team, number 60.
Well, if he's going to do it anywhere, he's going to do it right here at Pocono. He's won this race twice. He won it in 1990, won it again in 1994. He had great success in the modifieds here on the 3/4 mile racetrack that used to exist in the infield. If there's a home track for Jeff Bodine, it's right here.
Jeremy Mayfield is off the pace, and he's going into the pits. Roush Racing, here's how the teams are doing right now. As you look at Roush Racing, they've got 4th, 5th, 21st, 27th, and Chad Little back in 23rd. Kevin LePage not having a bad day in 21st. Rick Hendrick Stables, Dahlem back in 8th. Good run for him. And the Penske Kranopoulos team, 9th and 35th, and Mayfield in trouble again. Pulled on the pit road just a moment ago.
And he's in the garage area. He's going to call it a day.
These front 3 cars are so evenly matched. Just a little slip in the corner, they're getting the advantage of 5 or 6 car lengths on the car that's chasing them. But these guys are really getting around this racetrack very similar. Except for Jarrett, he's got a little wider line, as you talked about just a second ago. But right back in here is Tony Stewart. He has moved himself all the way up to 7th spot now from the back of the field.
Among the single car teams, to talk about Jeffrey Bodine in 10th spot. And that 58 car, that's Hut Strickland. He's up in 11th.
Yeah, I talked to his crew chief, and he told me, he said, Hut's hungry, and he has great driving ability and mechanical ability. We think he's going to be a good driver for our team.
And here's Ernie Irvin, number 36 in 12th spot today. And 13th is number 94, Elliott's team. Those are those single car teams. They're doing well, but they're outside the top 10.
Here comes Stewart after the 3 cars, Dale Earnhardt.
Well, there was no Winston Cup race last weekend, but Tony Stewart won anyhow. He owns half of the Silver Crown car, which with Jason Leffler behind the wheel, won at Nazareth. Stewart thinks enough of this kid, Jason Leffler, that he's talked the boss, Joe Gibbs, into having Leffler drive some of his races coming up pretty soon. So Tony Stewart stuck his neck out for a kid he says is going to be a great one.
Riding with Wally Dahlem back down in the corner here, you can see that car is really doing quite well today. He's in 8th place.
And watching that battle between these two. You've got Stewart down on the inside.
That's 2
now
that can do it straight ahead or sideways. They don't care.
Yep. Now pulls right back in behind Earnhardt.
This is where Stewart's awfully good through the short shoot. He has been catching cars right in here. He's not going to position himself very well on Earnhardt until he gets a little bit closer, though.
The 87 and 93 winner of the event comes through turn 3. He is so strong in that corner. Stewart coming after him. Chevrolet versus Pontiac, 3 versus 20, respectively. Main straightaway.
Yeah, and just behind them, Wally Dallenbach, that we were riding with just a second ago, he's running right along with these guys. So one slip and Wally Dallenbach can move up 2 spots. Here we
Got
go.
the best seat in the house to watch this battle. Here's Tony Stewart out of Rushville, Indiana, down on the inside. Not this time.
As Jeff Gordon comes back onto pit road yet again.
Wow, what a bad day he's having.
Oh, Rick Nash blows up.
That will probably bring out, I won't say that. It may not bring the caution out.
Rick Mass, number 95, erupts. Let's see if it's going to bring a caution. Thus far, no sign of that. Musgrave in the 14th position, number 75. The Remington car coming onto pit road.
And everybody's pulling for Ted Musgrave to have a good run because you see the sponsor there on the quarter panel. They're leaving at the end of the year.
Word is that Polaris may be back in there, and Musgrave having a problem today. Remember he had that great race here a few years back, ran second all the way down toward the end of this thing. Musgrave on pit road and no sign of caution coming out.
That's going to stay green. Teddy Musgrave, one of the very first drivers you'll see in the garage area on any given day.
Back with the leaders, Skinner, Labonte, Jarrett, 1, 2, 3.
They closed in a little bit on Mike Skinner, and second and third place cars have.
Here comes Dale Jarrett down to the bottom, challenging Bobby Labonte.
Crowd on their feet down the front straightaway, waving him on.
Moving on through in this fight for supremacy in the Pennsylvania 500.
Move. Dale Jarrett just put one on Bobby Labonte, heading down into turn 1 there, just drove right by him.
Jeff Gordon running laps down, still running along at a pretty good slip, but way back. Leaders on lap 113. He's on lap 106.
Gordon dropped right down to the bottom of the racetrack to let the leaders by. Let them go ahead and race. He's out of it.
Let's see what Jarrett can do with Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner has that number 31 Chevrolet, the Lowe's car, parked in first spot.
I tell you, Larry Reynolds is telling him, don't give up on me, get up on that wheel and let's go in the 31.
Well, you know Larry McReynolds is talking to Skinner every single lap, and he is just telling him exactly what to do. Skinner's listening these days, too, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're a great team, and like you said earlier in the day, they now have stability. Larry McReynolds has agreed to be with Richard Childress and with Mike Skinner for 3 more years. And the first thing they do is come out here and sit on pole.
He said he had to know by now, Larry was saying, whether he was going to form a new team. That didn't come together. Therefore, he's here working with Mike Skinner. Most think that's going to be a tough combination in the next 3 years to beat. Certainly tough today.
He's going to have more work to do. It looks like Dale Jarrett's closing in as we speak. Coming out of turn 3, Jarrett, you can see, still working that wheel pretty good coming up out of the corner.
Mike Skinner under attack. Jarrett right there behind him. Let's go back to the pit area.
Well, crew chief Larry McReynolds for Mike Skinner has just talked to him. They're going to pit probably about lap 121, so about 6 laps. All the leaders will start coming in for green flag pit stop. Everybody, one eye on the racetrack, one eye on the weather right now. It'll take more than 1 pit stop to complete this race right now, but they're coming in about 121.
115 laps complete, and take a look at Tony Stewart digging in, going on Earnhardt. Got it.
Earnhardt will try to come back on the inside as they come off this corner. That's a patented move, but not on Tony Stewart. Tony came through there. A lot of speed through the tunnel turn.
We'll be back to see those pit stops upcoming very shortly. And watch the war continue in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500.
The Pennsylvania 500 on TBS Superstation is brought to you by Circuit City, the official electronics and appliance store of NASCAR. By Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. and by Hardee's.
Closing in on 300 miles, 118 complete, and Jarrett is now in front and drawing away. Here's how it happened.
Coming out of turn one, Jarrett gets a great run there. Great forward bite. Moves to the inside of Skinner down Long Pond straightaway, heading towards the tunnel turn. About right there, Skinner says, I think I'll let you have it. He backs out of the throttle. Jarrett takes over right there. Great run down that back straightaway. On the pit.
On pit road. Pit stops right on schedule, and it will be Dale Jarrett first. Ford credit rig coming onto pit road. Easing down for a stop. Right side rubber ready to go on. Tire change. Or tire change under green for Dale Jarrett all the way around.
2 full cans of fuel. And right there. There it goes, out of the pit.
17 and 6/10 seconds to stop. Mark that one down as we get into pit stop time. That comes while they're working the 119th lap.
Here comes Bobby Labonte headed towards pit road as we speak.
Steve Burns waiting for him as the Interstate Pontiac comes to a halt. Steve?
Ken, one adjustment that you won't see that they've already made is they drop air pressure to the right rear, and now they make an adjustment to the track bar and the right rear corner of the number 18, the Pontiac of Bobby Labonte. Randy Pemberton talked about that earlier. They made the adjustment with the wet red. 4 tires for Bobby Labonte. 17.7 seconds.
Quickest thus far, Jarrett. Mike Skinner still out there. And moving up, Jeff Burton is running 2 4/10 of a second back from Skinner in second spot. Mark Martin is running in third. He is 5 6/10 of a second to the leader. And in fourth is Tony Stewart, 7 4/10 seconds back. As we move into this pit stop period under green. This time among the leaders, looks like they're all staying out there. Nice lead for Skinner. But it's trimmed by 1/10 of a second. And Jeff Burton has been nipping away. Now Earnhardt comes on pit road. Earnhardt on pit road. He is in the 6th spot when he first came onto the pit road. Here comes the right side rubber for number 3, 2-time winner of the Pennsylvania 500.
Little adjustment in the back of the race car there. He is also going to do a 4-tire stop. Clock ticking away.
4 tires and fuel and 17.2. That's why you want to work for Richard Childress.
Here comes Skinner heading towards pit road.
Now watch this McReynolds crew go to work. Randy Pemberton waiting on car number 31, who has been your leader. The lead is now inherited by number 99, Jeff Burton. Randy?
This is where these guys make their money. It's going to be a 4-tire stop. Likewise for the rest of the leaders that are pitting down on pit road right now. 4 tires for Mike Skinner. They said do a nice, smooth stop. Don't let anything go wrong. They cannot make it with one more stop from here. It'd still be over 40 laps, so it's going to take at least one more stop from here. Pretty good pit stop so far. Little trouble on the left front. Down and away for Skinner. 19.5. Not what they wanted, but not bad.
That's not up to snuff for a McReynolds pit stop. Remember, $2 million at stake. You cover about 300 feet a second in much of this racetrack.
Tony Stewart made a stop. That's him right there as he gets back ready and underway.
Jeff Burton out in front. Mark Martin now finds himself in second, 3 seconds back. Here comes Burton in. This could be a very good pit stop. Frankie Stoddart's crew is really hot to make this look good. The X-Side batteries, number 99, which has been leading with Jeff Burton at the keyboard. Slows down. Nice stop. Right side, I'm sure he's going to go all the way around. No adjustments. First tank of fuel is in. Left side tires being strapped on.
That one pump jack there, they can get him up in a hurry.
He also had time to die. 18.1. Gave him a little refreshment and put him back out in 18 and 1/10 seconds for Jeff Burton. So critical. You run so hard for so long, and here is the new leader. Story of the day.
He's coming in right now.
Let's see what they can do for Mark Martin. He's down. Steve Burns is waiting for Mark Martin as he comes onto pit road.
Ken, as we said at the top of the show, Mark Martin is racing with a broken left wrist, a screw in his left kneecap. Now it's up to the crew to make him feel better. Mike Garrett is the jack man. Sean Parker changing tires on the right side. A good stop so far. A chassis adjustment to the right rear corner. The jack Garrett has it up on the left side. A very quick stop. Mark Martin takes a drink of water, and they're done. 16.4 seconds. Great pit stop.
You know that team wants to see Mark Martin win this race. That's the fastest one we recorded. 17.2 was Earnhardt. Mark Martin out in great time, and there's your leader at the present time. It is Jeffrey Bodine getting an opportunity to lead in number 60. Been a while since that has happened.
And he has come from 42nd spot, one away from absolutely the last car in the field to lead today. Big day for Jeffrey Bodine.
He sat on the pole 3 times at Pocono. He's won this race a couple of times. Giving that car a really good ride. Jeffrey Bodine. Well, what a stop for Mark Martin. They can smell opportunity in the air on that race too, and they really wanted to give Mark everything possible to keep him in the hunt.
It's going to be interesting to see who really won all the battles there as they sort out and everybody stops and we go through the cycle of pit stops. Who actually is out there and gone?
5 seconds behind Bodine is Rick Mast in second, and Kevin LePage finds himself in third. He's another 4 back.
Jeffrey's a good comeback story. He sure is. He's had the most DNFs this year, led just 1 lap so far. It is so nice to see him up front again where he belongs.
Stanton Barrett is just pitted. 4th spot is now Benson, 13 seconds down the leader. Here's Mike Hogwood.
Well, here's one guy who's not worried about a quick pit stop, Jeremy Mayfield. He's been back in the garage for a while now. He has his helmet on, and every member of his crew is underneath that car. He lost 3rd and 4th gear, so they have worked hard to give it back to him, and we'll get him back out to run around for some points. But not a good day for a former winner here at Pocono, Jeremy Mayfield.
STP Pit Roundup. And there's the story from Mayfield. Jarrett is being shown 5th out here at the present time.
Yeah, the people that stopped right now, he is the guy that won the battle as they got back on the racetrack and blend in with the fast traffic.
He's still a good ways back. He's 16.5 seconds behind Jeffrey Bodine, who is currently your leader.
Look who's back. Ward Burton's number 22.
Many laps down, but hey, they don't give up in Western Cup. Those few points that he might pick up might mean thousands of dollars at the end of the year.
Ward Burton working lap 85 while the leaders are on 126. Extensive work done to the cat. Napa leaderboard here. Going back through the field for you. Napa leaderboard showing where they are on the track. This is what, the 2nd race that Jeffrey Bodine has led this year? That's it. California, maybe? Huh?
If you want to know the difference between used tires and a guy that just took on tires, Jarrett was 163.5 just a second ago, and the leader, Bodine, is 159.
Here he comes, and then some. Jarrett definitely the quick one among these leaders. Now, where are those other guys that pitted? Well, Mark Martin now finds himself, as they continue to sort out, back in 14th position. Just in front of him is Jeff Burton in the 13th position. On board with Jeff Burton, 13th, and Martin is just behind him. Guess what? They're showing Darrell Waltrip right up here in the 10th position, still running the lead left.
Don't ever count him out. I'll tell you what, he's a master of saving fuel also. Look at the black clouds so in the background there. I know these drivers are looking up there. The north part of the racetrack is in total darkness now from shade.
That could really be the story from here on in as to whether or not there's that beautiful blue sky with which we started the day. Certainly not the case at the present time. It is clouding in. There is the potential for showers, and you want to be in front if you possibly can. Bodine out of sync on the pit stops and able to lead for a while here. Still with a 3-second advantage over Rick Mans.
If you want to see the background change in a hurry as they turn here, you'll see everything getting darker as they go by Jeff Gordon, who is really struggling now. Look at the black clouds that are just to the north of the racetrack now.
Now Jarrett's clearing away traffic. He's closing up on LePage. He is back and forth. LePage is third, Mast is second, and Bodine is first.
Darrell Waltrip is just pitting for fuel.
Place car. Good run today for old DW. And here's that number 60, still staying with the lead.
Not nearly as fast as the guys who've taken tires. He's as much as 5 miles an hour slower as the cars that have fresh tires, but he leads.
Now there's the 88. This is the guy on the move. Jarrett back in fourth. Leader coming in. Steve Burns is waiting on Jeffrey Bodine. Two-time winner of this event.
Hey, Ken, we think he's going to take just right-side tires, try and gain some track position. The number 60 of Jeff Bodine. They tear off the tearaway visor on the windshield to give him a clear look. And it is just 2 tires for Jeff Bodine, getting as much gas in as they can. Taking them a bit longer, but yeah, they want to get enough gas in. 15.7 seconds for Jeff Bodine.
On a 2-tire change. And now Cale Yarborough's colors. Whoa, what colors?
Woody Woodpecker.
Number 98 is in front. Rick Mast getting a chance to lead the Pennsylvania 500.
I told him I wanted him to run fast enough to make him lean the other way on this quarter panel. He's leaning forward there. When he leans back, he'll really be in the wind.
Somebody must have had a lot of paint left over. Look at that. That thing's got just about every color imaginable on it.
That's the new modern look.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is. Kevin LePage stays in second, and he's coming in. He's on the pit road, and I think for the first time in his career in Winston Cup racing, Kevin LePage is going to lead a lap. Here's the 98 slowing down. So we're going to go through this transition and find ourselves back with Dale Jarrett in a moment. Mike Hogwood.
We're in the 98 of Rick Mast, and he brings that Woody Woodpecker car in. They're going to get 4 tires and fuel. They've done plenty of discussion, no adjustments. Rick Mast is having a great run in this 98 machine. A lot of enthusiasm about this team. They're down and away. 17-2, a good stop for Rick Mast.
Yeah, they are pumped up. And there's your leader, Kevin LePage. Leads here at Pocono, Pennsylvania in the TV Guide. Ford automobile out of Roush Racing. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets his lap in and he gets himself onto pit road.
Yeah, there's a pretty big story with this 16. I've been informed that if they don't come up with a sponsor and they don't get the TV Guide back for next year, that could go away. He would be looking for a ride. He wouldn't be with Jack Roush if they don't find a sponsor.
He certainly did well with Joe Falk last year and got that Roush ride. He gave that Falk car some beautiful runs in the course of 1998.
Well, hopefully somebody will sign up with him, because I'm hound Kevin LePage as a driver. I think he has a lot of potential.
A fine race driver. They've been through several crew chiefs trying to get the right combination. The promise that is there simply has not yet been fulfilled. But there is a lot of promise in this young man who is leading in Winston Cup for the very first time in his 49 start career.
Just a car back from him, and closing quickly is Jarrett to take command of this event.
There's
As they come down out of the corner, here comes Dale Jarrett. He shoots down to the inside, moves under Presley. On board is Jarrett as he chases the leader, LePage, down into turn number 1.
This is a great shot. Watch him as he heads down in the corner, close to 100, downshifts right there, hugs the bottom of the racetrack, takes the throttle back up. Now he'll go down long, come straight away, probably faster than anybody right now, because that car is booking.
He's more than a mile an hour faster than LePage in the last lap.
headed for what Kenny Wallace has called the hairiest turn in Winston Cup racing, the tunnel turn right here at Pocono, Pennsylvania. And LePage holds the line and still stays in front, but Jarrett closes in.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time right now. He's got a very fresh car. See, he catches him about 6 car lengths. I think LePage is on his way to the pits right now.
Boy, DJ working that wheel. You're right, buddy. On his way to his pit stop.
LePage last pitted on lap 90 under yellow. Most of the leaders had pitted on lap 80, and that gave him a chance to stay out a little longer. Here he is, tire mark down the right side. Kevin LePage out of Shelburne, Vermont. Started racing up in the Green Mountains. Moved on into the Busch Grand National Series of NASCAR, and now into Winston Cup racing. Here's his stop.
The car up, taking on right side. You see him cleaning the front of the car off. There's a lot of rubber buildup as they clean the windshield. Lay the first can of gas over, second can going in. Up goes the left side. 15 points. They're already up to 17, 18, 19 seconds. Problems on the left rear there.
Whoops.
23.8.
That's how you lose races big time. So Jarrett is back in front at lap 134. Marked it as 134. When they finish the rotation, the cycle, it puts Jarrett back on top in the number 88. And it puts Bobby Labonte second, Mike Skinner in the third, Burton to fourth. The last of the cars in that first rotation, Johnny Benson, is now on pit road in the Cheerios Ford, number 26.
After the full rotation, Tony Stewart, though, is in sixth, and he had to go to the rear of the field not long ago. So I wouldn't put Tony Stewart out. If they had a caution really tighten everybody back up, Tony Stewart's in this battle.
Earnhardt would be 7th. Brett Bodine would be 8th. 9th, Wally Gollenbach. 10th, Rusty Wallace. And in 11th, Bill Elliott.
See that fuel gauge there moving back and forth. This one right here. Nothing to be concerned about. That happens when you get out of the throttle. The fuel pressure will dance back and forth as he shifts down, going down the front straightaway.
I think we're getting a little spot of rain up here in turn 3. Let's see if you see it on the windshield. We'll check and hear what the spotters are getting here. Turn 3 of Pocono International Raceway. It's the 26th running of the Pennsylvania 500 today on TBS Live. Dr. Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker alongside. Along pit road, Steve Burns, Randy Pemberton, Mike Hogwood. Jarrett's where he wants to be. If it's going to rain, he wants to be up on the point. They've gone more than halfway, making his way around Joe Nemechek.
He's not worried about it. That's turn 3 right there. Nothing on the windshield that I can see.
He's working that wheel quite a bit coming out of the corners when he's passing cars.
As you said, he dances that car around. He drives every lap. I've watched him week after week with the in-car camera. He really does stay on top of that wheel all the time. You'll see his right arm moving back and forth, right on the brink of losing control, but he has a lot of car control.
Jarrett has a 1 6/10 second advantage over Bobby Labonte, and better than 6 seconds over Skinner here in the Pennsylvania 500. The Pennsylvania 500, that's the major concern of the moment. Weather is moving in onto the top of this mountain where the Pocono Raceway is holding the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. For the moment, Jarrett has the lead, but Bobby Labonte has cut into that lead. When we left you, it was 1 6/10 seconds between the number 88 of Jarrett and Labonte, and now it's down to 1 2/10 seconds as Bobby Labonte continues to tighten it up. Burton lies third, Skinner fourth, Stewart fifth, as he has moved in on and past Mark Martin. Stewart really blazing out here. He's as quick as anything out here. He's turning laps at 162.5. That's right up there with what we see being turned out by the leader, Jarrett. He's just blown by this number 6 that's giving us the pictures. Mark Martin, currently in 6th position.
So many drivers say it just takes forever to learn this very difficult racetrack at Pocono. First time Tony Stewart ever came here was a practice session before the June race. He demolished a race car. Then he came back for the June event, finished an incredible 6th, and today he has come all the way back from the back of the pack from an earlier race accident to run in 5th spot. What a dramatic performance by this young driver.
Talking about Stewart, though, he says, you know, if you don't know, caution on the racetrack.
Caution down. Been a dazzling run recently by Bobby Labonte, but we've got a yellow out for rain condition.
They come around. I'm going to finish that story on Tony Stewart. He said, I didn't know what I could do or couldn't do. He said, now I know what I can't do.
They just began to slither a little up here in turn 3, and NASCAR's put the flag out before anybody ends up with a car in the wall. You don't want to wad it up in that manner. NASCAR being very careful about that.
Now, NASCAR has spotters all around the racetrack, and this is a big enough place that they really need to do that. And they will rely on the judgment of the individuals who are in the various parts of the speedway. It is not at all unusual to see a situation like this as we ride with Jerry Nadeau, where part of this racetrack is under nice, clear, sunny skies, and part of the racetrack is wet.
6th yellow of the day. And Jerry Nadeau, who moves on to Rick Hendrick Racing next year to take over the Budweiser ride, finds himself here today having to scrap some. He had a tough day in qualifying. Started well back. He now finds himself running in the 26th position after he started 41st.
Looking out of the car, you could see the right side of the windshield pretty greasy there, but you don't look out of that side. The driver only looks out of the left side of the car. You can see that's that's like, yeah, this part of the windshield right here. It's like the inside of a fish aquarium. Left side pretty clear.
A dirty fish aquarium. Algae everywhere.
Clean that fish aquarium or your mother's going to have a word with you.
Now, Nadeau's got quite a future ahead of him. He'll be moving into the 25 car next year. That is a fine, fine ride. He's done well here, but that's a great one.
So caution is out around the speedway. Jarrett, Labonte, Burton, the front 3. Let's see. Here are the spotters up on the roof. Oh, Sadler has come to a halt. And there's Elliott Sadler, a little frustrated, running in 25th position. And he's running a lap down to the leaders. We'll try to check on what the condition is of the Wood brothers. Number 21. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
Well, we're getting reports in the Dale Jarrett pit. I've not confirmed it with Todd Parrott, but we have heard on our scanners that there is a problem with the clutch on the 88.
On the racetrack.
And he doesn't have a clutch.
Okay.
I want to follow that story. This is your leader. That is the story of the race. As Dale Jarrett tries to press for this victory if we got a real rain, but I can't believe we get a long shower, buddy.
Yeah, and talking about that clutch being out, that'll be a real problem if when he comes in the pits trying to get back out. Once you get up to speed, you don't use the clutch at all to shift gears, but that could be a problem when he stops.
What about on a restart?
No, that won't be a problem because you're underway there and you don't use the clutch once you're really moving out.
Here's Earnhardt back on pit road. What are we showing? 23 cars on the lead lap. Here's Wallace in as well. Looks like they're going to do a banzai attack here when we get back underway.
Looks like we're going to do some more racing because these guys keep up with the weather, and NASCAR has a weather channel that they have in the truck over in the infield, and I'm sure they went over there and looked to see how wide this rain is around here. It looks pretty isolated to me.
The weather is the story of the moment here at Pocono. That's what's coming in. There's a light shower here. We anticipate that we'll be getting back underway in the Pennsylvania 500, but that's the issue for the moment. After 143 of 200 laps have been completed, you see Dale Jarrett out in front, Labonte, Burton, Skinner, Stewart rounding out the front 5, and there's your second 5, followed by Bodine Elliott, Ernie Irvin up in there, Hut Strickland, Kenny Wallace having a good day. In 15th, Terry Labonte to 16th, and Steve Park into 17th. Kevin LePage holds that 21st position. Saw him leading a few moments ago, and Kyle Petty in 22nd. Darrell Waltrip in that lead lap with number 66. Came from dead last, 43rd position at the outset. At the present time, we have three cars officially out of the race. Burton, Andretti, and Irwin. Back with more in a moment.
Hi, everyone. Welcome live to the TBS Super Shop. I'm Brian Collard. And while you're watching today's live TBS Sports coverage of the Pennsylvania 500, currently under caution, we've got something special for die-cast fans. The Jeff Gordon 124 die-cast metal Star Wars car, a one-time paint scheme only from the folks at Action Performance, part of the Busch Series Racing for Gordon, done to exact detail at only $58.50. Call us toll-free at 1-877-577-SHOP. Also available, the Dale Earnhardt 124 die-cast Wrangler car, a one-time paint scheme from this year's The Winston at only $65 from the folks at Action Performance, a one-time paint scheme from Dale Earnhardt. Call us toll-free at 1-877-577-SHOP and check us out online at tbssupershop.com as we go back to Pennsylvania. Yes, it's Dale Jarrett in the lead.
145 laps, 362 and a half of 500 miles completed in the Pennsylvania 500, and a rain condition is keeping the cars under a yellow flag at the present time, the 6th of the day. Dick Berggren.
Well, the rain has quit all the way around the racetrack now, so we should be getting a start here pretty soon. They've got blowers on the racetrack to dry it out and clean it up, and we ought to be ready to go. To Mike Hogwood.
Well, we're in the Dale Jarrett pits where things are really, really tense right now, and the clutch problem is the big concern. Now, they can still run, as Buddy Baker was saying, without the clutch. The problem is going to be on the pit stops and getting out off of the pit road under a green flag pit stop. It's not going to be easy. They are talking about a possible solution. They've asked Dale to pump the clutch to try to pump it back up, but so far he's putting it on the floor and nothing's there.
Trying to get that hydraulic clutch to work again.
All kinds of things could be wrong there. There's some mechanical leakage and hydraulic clutch inside.
Let's take a look at what's happened if you're just joining us here on TBS today. At the outset, Mike Skinner brought the field down after qualifying at 170 miles an hour. First incident of the day when Jimmy Spencer gets together with Kenny Irwin, and that ended Irwin's day early. He was a little hot about that one. On lap 44, look at this move. Jarrett down to the inside. Flanking. In the middle, Skinner on the outside. Jeff Gordon and taking first. Trouble here. Andretti pounding the wall in turn number 1. On lap 58, Jeff Gordon goes in the lead around Dale Jarrett. Lap 77. Crowd goes wild as Gordon goes to the pits. Right tire torn to pieces. Here's the move. Dale Jarrett down the inside. Getting under number 31, Mike Skinner. And in command of this race where we are right now. They're going to go green next time by.
Bobby
Labonte start to come in, and so did Skinner. Yeah. Both of them were coming in, then the word came down from their spotters. Hey, Randy, what happened there?
Oh, it's been utter agony down here between Mike Skinner and crew chief Larry McReynolds trying to figure out if they should indeed pit. Here's the story. They could only run 16 more laps of green flag action before they would have to pit anyway. And we saw Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt already come down to pit. So they've already gotten their service. They want to be on sync with those guys. They think that was the best strategy to do, but they missed their opportunity. So they're going to go ahead, come down pit road, and gas it. Steve.
Hey, Randy, I'm down here in the 18th pits, and it's kind of funny watching these guys what they want to do. At first, they said, let's come in, take on 4 tires of gas, and then we'll stop one more time and take right sides. So there's a little bit of fakery going on, perhaps, down here in the pits.
Well, you know, they've all got scanners, and they all listen to each other, and there is a lot of fakery. You try to persuade somebody what you're going to do, and then you do go ahead and do something else. It's not a bad strategy to keep everybody else off balance if you can.
365 miles complete as they line line up, get ready for a restart after the 6th caution of the day created by a shower. TBS congratulations on this weekend certainly go to Blaze Alexander, who won the ARCA Pepsi 200 here at Pocono yesterday. To Andy Santerre, hurt down at Daytona, made a great comeback and won yesterday at Pikes Peak in NASCAR Busch Grand National Racing.
I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to watch that race, and I will tell you this. I walked down in the lobby and told everyone who won that race, and everybody was happy.
Greg Biffle winning in the Craftsman Truck Series this weekend. And in the Busch North Series, it was Dennis Demers up at the Stafford Speedway. All champions in some of NASCAR's great series. Race summary after 142 laps had been completed out here today. 355 miles. Look at those lead changes today, folks. 23, 6 cautions, 33 laps. And cars running, 40 of the 43 are still out here getting it on.
That's incredible. And for those of you who are worried about Dale Jarrett, remember last year's race. This event last year where Dale Jarrett had a cracked oil pan, smoke everywhere, crew crawled underneath the car, fixed it, got it back out, he finished 5th. That's a great crew. Maybe they can pick this too.
Flag, green flag. There's some magic around Todd Parrott, that is for sure. All right, on the break. Here they come to the line. You see Sterling Marlin down just under the leader, number 88. There's a land rush for you down into turn number 1. And persevering in the Snapper rundown that you're seeing up on the left, persevering is that number 88. Staying there. Clutch problem or no clutch problem. Dale Jarrett has control of this field as they go across the Long Pond straightaway.
Yeah, and we have an end card that we'll show you in a little while of him shifting. He does not need a clutch as long as that car's up to full song. His problem is when he comes in to take on tires, the green flag stop, he can't get going again. They'll have to push him to get him back up to momentum to leave the pit road.
Bobby Labonte still squared off in that second spot. Look at Jarrett work right here.
Yeah, he's going to try to build himself a little lead here if he can, because that pit stop is going to come. I don't think he's, well, I know he's going to stop. Well, there he goes. He makes that shift. You didn't even hear the motor change sound hardly as he pulled it in high gear. Now you push it back up in there. Right there, down in the corner, no problem.
Laps led today, 36,443 last year. This shows to go you that you can be out front for a while. That isn't what counts at the end.
Taking a little breather there. Look how he's holding that steering wheel. Anybody that tells you you have to grip that wheel until you get to the corner is wrong. He took a little rest. Now he's up there on that steering wheel as he goes through the corner. See him rest that left hand there? Just kind of giving his thumb a little workover.
Jarrett last pitted on 118. We're at 148 right now.
I mean to tell you right now, he is up on that steering wheel through the corner.
Folks who race Saturday night cars sometimes find that they're exhausted after 25 or 50 laps. Take a lesson here. Only get tense when you absolutely have to. Relax as much as you can driving the race car.
From Bobby Labonte looking back at Jarrett.
Bobby Labonte's closing in. As a matter of fact, he's pulled down some 8-9 car lengths in the past couple of laps, so Bobby's on the move also.
Here you see that front pair, and you see them drawing away a bit from Burton in that number 99. Burton falling back just a bit from those two drivers that have put on and demonstrated such great racing today, Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte. Now Labonte trying to be the 4th driver in history to win both races at Pocono in a single season.
He and Jimmy Makar, his crew chief, just have that special something that we look for in the driver and crew chief, just like Jeff Gordon and his crew chief and so on and so on. Todd Parrott and Dale Jarrett. What a real get-together those guys have made up for great crews.
You know what, buddy? You look at the guys at the top of the field right now, and every single one of those guys has a terrific relationship with their crew chief. It's absolutely essential that driver and crew chief be effective communicators. The driver has to be able to sense what the race car is doing and tell the crew chief in a language the crew chief understands well enough to make the proper adjustments on the car to improve its performance.
There's a lot of trust, too. When a guy says, I fixed the car, I've made a change, you haven't got to go on the racetrack with it yet, I'm going to start you on the race like that, you say, okay, I know you know what you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of trust, too, when you say, don't worry about a thing. You can go in the first corner and not lift. Everything's going to be just fine.
Last
pit stop. Jarrett was in at 118. We're at 150 right now. Bobby Labonte was in at 119. Jeff Burton at 123. And lap 122 for Skinner and Stewart. Rick Mast is being shown in 6th position in Cale Yarborough's number 98. He was in on lap 131. He's got some more distance to go out here before he has to pit. With a 240-point lead, it would seem to be a dream season for Dale Jarrett. How does Dale Jarrett see it?
It's the type of season that we've been thinking that we were capable of putting together. All of these racetracks we've run well at, had top 5 finishes at, we've won at a lot of them. So I wouldn't say it's a dream. I think the biggest thing is we've eliminated problems, and whenever you can do that, that gives you an awful good chance at the championship.
Thank you, Dale. Trouble on Rudd's car, number 10. Real trouble. That's such a sadness for Ricky Rudd as he tries to keep that string of consecutive seasons going.
You can see the smoke coming out of the wheel well there on the left front through the wheel itself.
Caution is out for this.
Yeah, you got a left front tire gone down.
Number 7. Yellow period, number 7 on the race for Ricky Rudd.
Well, here's where we get to find out how Dale Jarrett will get going, because he's going to have to make a pit stop.
He was in 24th position. Yeah. Moment of truth for Dale Jarrett coming up right here with that clutch giving him a problem.
Let me ask you something now. We speculate a lot. Is he coming in now, or is he going to stretch it and try to make it all the way to the end on a full tank of fuel?
He can't make it all the way to the end. We're on lap 152 now. I don't think he can, do you?
Well, we said the pit window was somewhere around 37 to 41.
Worked pretty good right there.
152 is 380 miles. Long way to go. And we're not sure of the time to get
right
there.
Now, we can't go the rest of the way.
Mike Hogwood?
Yeah, the Dale Jarrett crew is scrambling here. They are going to pit in one more lap. You may have heard Todd Parrott talking about that in a moment. They're going to try to bleed the clutch a little bit, pump it up, try to get it working. And the big thing, of course, is to get him out on this pit stop. That is the big problem without the clutch.
Well, we heard Todd Parrott say there's no way that we can make it.
Fire on Ricky Rudd's car. Left front on fire. Started out as just a flat. It's getting worse.
Fire and rain here today. They're saying this caution is out, number 1 for the number 10 car, and the number 2 reason is there's another shower on the track. Mike Fatback McSwain, the crew chief on that one, has put such a hard effort into getting Ricky Rudd's team back together and making them competitive.
Whoa.
Boy, that looks hot.
I wonder if the inner liner just let go.
Well, whatever it was, now everything's back to normal. That's the fire extinguisher there. It's all over.
Leaders on pit road. Here are the front 3. Jarrett at the top of your screen. Bobby Labonte already in, making that change to the right side, and Jeff Burton, long way to go. Jarrett comes to a halt. Now Burton.
Well, Jarrett getting tires on the right side. This is going to be a longer stop than the other leaders for sure, because Jarrett at least is going to have to shut the engine off in that car, put it in gear, and the crew's going to have to push it in order to get him to get the engine going and get the car to move forward. Engine's silent now. There we go, pushing it. Not bad. Not bad at all for Dale Jarrett.
21.9. A little bit of a push to assist.
Now he's okay. He's back underway again.
Back out under caution.
If that had been under green, he'd have really had a problem, but the fact that it was done under caution surely worked to his advantage. And Ricky Rudd still having problems. They changed the left front. Obviously, it's more than that. This left front isn't turning. He is grinding the wheel away, the frame, and everything else. Ricky Rudd, an owner driver, he will pay the bill on this one, and it'll be a steep bill.
You're exactly right. And the sway bar arms and everything else are grinding off right there, so a lot of problems. That left front's covered with stuff that he's wearing out right now that they can't replace in a hurry.
So that consecutive season win record at what, 16?
16.
Not going to get a crack at keeping that one going today. Let's hope it happens before this season comes to completion.
Well, Brickyard's next, and he's won there. Gordon on pit road again. You saw the car right in the background.
Week off next Sunday, then it's 11 straight weeks that the Winston Cup teams will be on the road.
That car's got a lot of damage to the right rear corner there. It's smashed all the way in past the tires there. You can see it right in there. A lot of damage on that car on the right rear corner.
Yep, and it's on fire again. Not a fun day for Ricky Rudd. One of the more popular drivers in the Winston Cup Series. Been around a long, long time. Tenacious competitor.
He's lost a sponsor. It's not going well for Ricky Rudd, Chesapeake, Virginia. I would consider him one of the best liked drivers, for his spirit. He's a fighter. He's still a good guy. And Rick Mast is now shown as the leader.
I'm going to give you a little bit of trivia. Who did he drive for first in Winston Cup?
I remember Bud Moore way back.
No.
Dad.
No, me.
Baker? For you.
I brought him into Winston Cup with my race team.
Good job, Baker.
What year was that? Good job.
Oh, none of your business.
Rick Mast out in front again in the Pennsylvania 500. Back at lap 155 of the 200 to be run today. Ricky Rudd is back on pit road. STP pit roundup, and Randy will start it off.
Well, Larry McReynolds, crew chief for Mike Skinner. Larry, it's been agonizing trying to figure out the strategy here. Where do you stand right now as far as how far you can go until you stop again?
Well, you know, we just got to see how long this caution goes. If it'll run about another 4 laps, we can get in here and pit and have enough to go to the end. Yeah, it's, you know, you got Pocono, you got a 2.5-mile racetrack, you got rain, you got fuel mileage. I don't know. That's a lot to deal with. And we can't call timeout and think about it.
I can tell you this, Mike Skinner came over the radio laps ago and said, that's why they give you the big bucks. I wouldn't want to make the call.
He's one of the best, Larry McReynolds.
You see him talking there to the guys. Don't tell me it'll make it. If you run out here, you can't coast all the way around this racetrack. You have to know you can make it.
Well, that's a run out here. You will walk home.
Yep, and that's exactly the problem. If you run out coming off turn 3, it's not such a big deal because you can get yourself into the pits. But boy, if you run out at the start-finish line or turn 1, there just is not enough momentum to get the car all the way back, and you will go down laps.
There you see Rick Mast, who's out in front in that Cale Yarborough number 98. Now, where are those principles that we've been watching? Dale Jarrett is back in 17th position in the number 88. Remember, he was slow coming out. Mark Martin is in the 14th position with the number 6. Just in front of Mark Martin is Tony Stewart, the number 20 in 13. Jeff Burton is in 12th. Mike Skinner is in 11. And then you've got the Labonte brothers. Bobby Labonte, the guy that won here in June, is running 10th. And Terry Labonte, he always has a way of showing up at the end of the race, is in 5th. Pretty interesting. Got Rusty Wallace up in 7th now in the 2-car. Michael Waltrip is in 8th. How about this? Kyle Petty is in 5th position, 1 lap, and they're going to go green another time. And let's see who's going to duck onto pit road. Bobby Labonte for 1, Jeff Burton for another.
Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett. Let's just say all the front runners are down in pits.
Big dogs are all ready to eat. Let's get a message from Steve Burns.
Well, Ken, Bobby Labonte just ducked on pit road, and they topped off the gas tank. They made a stop a few laps ago, put on 4 tires, no chassis adjustments. But again, the big news is Jimmy Maycart just brought him down pit road. They topped off on gas. Perhaps they can make it the final 45 laps. To Mike Hogwood.
Well, Dale Jarrett was just in as well, topping off on fuel. The entire team behind that car, they pushed it off, and considering no clutch, a great job by the 88 team to not lose any more time than they did here on pit road.
There you're riding with Dale Jarrett. He has an extra ace up his sleeve. The guy's name is Todd Parrott. You think back to 1997, that was the race where Musgrave, he's had a couple of good runs here, but Musgrave was in second, looked like he was going to make it all work. Todd Parrott made that last moment call. Was it going to be 2 tires or was it going to be 4 tires when they pitted the final time? And it was a question mark, I believe, as they came out of turn 3, and they went with 4 tires and gas. And that maneuver gave Dale Jarrett the 1997 Pennsylvania 500.
I'll give you another ace up Dale Jarrett's sleeve, and his brother Brad Parrott. I've been down on pit road enough times and watched that guy work all during the race, calculating fuel mileage, calculating the tires, keeping track of everything. He is an absolutely brilliant strategist. Two brothers, Todd and Brad, work incredibly well together to support Dale Jarrett's racing effort.
In 1997, Musgrave was in for 18 seconds in that last stop. Jarrett came in for, he came in for 18, and Musgrave was in for 13. They just figured that if they had a car that good, they could make it up, and they figured so correctly. Going to be fun to see how we shake this one out with a lot of interesting cars in front of the guys who have been the principals to date in this 500.
And the other thing, we're down to a situation. If it goes green all the way, there's going to be splash and go efforts made by a lot of cars that can't make it.
When they say they want a 1 second splash, how much gas is that, buddy?
It don't matter, a couple of gallons, but if that's enough to get to the end, they'll calculate how much they've been using. They go to the gas pumps and check the fuel mileage every time they stop.
Rick Mast leads him down into turn number 1. Car number 98, the veteran from Rockbridge, Virginia, has it up in front. Here comes Sterling Marlin wheeling to the outside. I believe he's being shown a lap down.
Mast having a big day. His biggest day so far this year was at Pocono just 5 weeks ago. He led 7 laps in this exact same car. The only races he's led all year, both races here at Pocono.
You want to see somebody go to the whip, watch that 3-car of Earnhardt on the outside there, Mast.
He's sniffing the lead, and I'll tell you what, when Earnhardt's sniffing the lead, hang on, because he's got it for it. Yep, he does.
Marlin has made up his lap. Sterling Marlin is back in the lead lap just on the tail end of it. Here they come. That Oklahoma Land Rush down into turn number 1. It's now led by Earnhardt. Mast is in there. Elliott is in there. Rusty Wallace. Mike Skinner coming up through. Stewart. Steve Park in this gang.
Earnhardt, the black number 3. He's your leader. He had only led 2 laps so far this year in non-restrictor plate racing, open racing, where there are no restrictions on the amount of air you can suck into the engine. This is one of his best days all year in that kind of competition.
The black car leads the collage. That car number 98 of Rick Mast, a very unusual paint job. Only the 4th race this year that Earnhardt has led.
98 there.
Oh,
trouble.
Hard crash.
Bill Elliott, I believe.
Yep.
Ducking to avoid. Elliott looking for a good run today. Had been up here in the top 10. 8th yellow comes out, and that one is a hard hit.
Yep, that's a big one.
Hard hit
for Bill
Elliott.
Okay.
He just dropped the screen there. That's to let everybody know that the workers not to go out in too big a hurry. He's okay. When they drop that screen right there, that means to the workers that have to get out there, I'm okay.
That's his 6th tough Pocono race in a row. He's just had everything go wrong, from brake problems to the hood pins failing to blowing up to having a tire go and chewing up the fenders.
It always worries me when I see Bill Elliott putting that net down, because I'll never forget that race at Talladega. Remember the car set up in the air and came down?
Oh, yeah.
He put the net down, but he was pounding on the roof. We'll get a look at this thing in a moment as to what happened to Bill Elliott. He had been up in 3rd as they were having this big confrontation for the top spot, running in the top 5 as this incident takes place.
He's coming out of the car.
Single car team, Bill Elliott. Let's see what happens. He is okay, out of the car and walking away.
Okay, Bill Elliott right there. Jerry Nadeau in the 9 right there. As they approach turn 3, Nadeau on the inside. Right there, they make a little contact, and around goes Bill Elliott hard into the outside wall. Everybody else gets by on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Thank goodness it wasn't flush against the wall. The rear end is
Much trickling there.
From on board Nadeau in the number 9 car.
Okay, this is across the short chute. As they go down through there, that's Bill Elliott on the outside. As they go down into turn 3, you'll see Nadeau coming up. Right there, he makes contact, and around goes Bill Elliott.
Didn't take much, but it sure sent Elliott in the wall hard.
Nadeau drove for Elliott just a year ago. Well, that's a tough one.
I was watching Hut Strickland also. He had to go across the grass to miss those two cars as they got together. Great job by Hut Strickland.
Riding with Nadu in the 9. He is up in 23rd position.
You know the contact there, if you could physically get your arm out the window of that race car and touch that car on the outside, you could spin them like that. It don't take much when they're that light going into the corner.
Take a look at these leaders. There you see Skinner in 3rd as we get ready to go racing once again. Now, will anybody take fuel in order to be sure?
I would say
going all the way?
I would say yes. I believe I'd have to.
Well, let's put you on the secure side of things. Right now, we're on lap 160. Virtually everybody with a good carburetor system should be able to make it.
Since you asked that question, though, that was why I was the driver, not the crew chief. I never saved anything.
No, I think when the races were over, you probably barely had enough gas in your race cars to get yourself to the motel if you had to.
You got it.
See Skinner in 3rd.
They're going to take them on the inside on that escape route, so they're going to give the rescue workers and the safety officials and so forth plenty of room to clean up that car.
Yeah, they've been told to get down there. They'll come back out onto the track as they pick up the 94 car.
Pit road is open. I see the green flag down there. And as we speak, here they come towards pit road.
Here they are. Hard on the top spot, the box. You see the 98 and the 31 on the bottom. And all kinds of stuff. Well, Stewart has come in as well. Rusty Wallace making his pit stop. Let's watch these three for a moment. Splash and go. Go to right side tires on Rick Mast. Gil Yarborough's number 98.
Boy, Earnhardt just got enough fuel to go the distance. 5 seconds worth of fuel.
And Wallace, 4.4. He's all set to finish this one off.
Now, to tell you, you can drop a full tank of fuel there in 7 seconds. So 5 seconds, a pretty good amount of fuel. He'll be able to make it now.
Herman was working on Skinner's right front fender, pulling it out. He apparently had had contact with someone.
So quick on pit road, they had to wait and let that field go by. And once again, this is going to mix the salad up a little. Good stop for Skinner, but a brilliant stop by Wallace. So they sort them out. Get down. We have 161 of 200 laps now completed. 161 of the 200 laps to make the Pennsylvania 500 today. Everybody working every possible angle to try to win this $2 million race. And it has been an eventful event. We're on our 8th caution. This after Bill Elliott's number 94 got tagged.
They just rebuilt this car. It's a car they'd only run one time before. They went through, made a bunch of minor changes, and put a brand new body on it. That's what they're going to have to do starting tomorrow morning.
That's a lot more than the body. Yep. Boy, he's had a hard hit. Bill Jarrett got bumped a little too while this was going on when they were checking up out there, and maybe we can see it, buddy. Quickly first, we can get a word with Bill Elliott. Let's go to Steve Burns.
And Kent, Bill has just come out of the infield care center. Bill, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Didn't even knock the breath out of me.
Car's not so good, huh?
Car can't be said so good, but it can be fixed.
Three-time winner of the event, Bill Elliott, Dawsonville, Georgia. Watch here.
This is Jarrett you're riding with here. Oh, boy, he got smacked pretty good there. Goes up in the 3rd gear and goes on. That's what happens when you check up on the racetrack. It's like being on the freeway and an accident happened in front of you.
Mike Hogwood.
Yeah, we're in the Dale Jarrett pit, and Dale told Todd Parrott that he got hit a little bit on the left rear and said it's feeling just a little bit funny. Todd said, stay out there. We need the track position.
Nemechek makes his pit stop. Now we get down to it. Guess who's leading? Steve Park in the number 1. Will be that first place car. Bickle in 2nd. Burton, number 99, will be in 3rd, followed by Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte in 6th, Waltrip 7th, Bernie Irvin 8th, Jarrett 9th, and Dallenbach 10th. There's your leader, Steve Park in the number 1. We'll take a quick break here and then get back to more action showing 162 complete.
Race fans, the 99 Simpson Racing catalog is now available. For information, call 1-800-71-RACIN or visit the Simpson website at simpsonraceproducts.com. You can be a Winston Cup team owner and compete for over $200,000 in cash and prizes by playing Ned Jarrett's Fantasy Cup Auto Racing. Call 1-800-877-RACE for your rule book. Communications provided by Racing Radios, the leader in racing communications worldwide. Call us today at 1-800-669-1522 for all your two-way needs for race teams and scanners and headsets for the fans. And at the track, see TrackScan on Vendors Row for all your on-site scanning needs.
At Pocono in the Pennsylvania 500, 163 of 200 laps are now complete. It brings your mileage factor down to 407.5 complete. There's the leader, Steve Park, who started the day in 32nd position. Best finish this year was 6th up at Michigan. He's had it tough over the past couple of seasons. He's driving that Dale Earnhardt #1 car for Pennzoil. And that Chevrolet currently is out in front with Rich Bickle in 2nd spot. And then Bobby Labonte in 3rd. And Jeff Burton in 4th. And those two cars out of the Roush team, they're really trying to conserve fuel here.
Well, they're going to have to, because they have to go 112.5 miles on one tank of fuel. It's been done here before at Pocono. Bobby Labonte has gone as much as 115 miles here, but that's a long, long way to go, and they're going to need some caution laps to help them. Interesting, Tony Stewart, who lost 2 races so far this year because of fuel, came in and fueled up.
Let's get some pit reports on the fuel situation. It was so critical 2 weeks ago. It cost Stewart the race. We're watching as Earnhardt comes onto pit road. Let's go down to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Mark Martin's team, they're laughing out of nervousness because they really do not know if they can make it. Jack Roush is speaking to them as we speak. They pitted on lap 153, but they've had several caution laps in between that. If it wasn't, that'd be 47 laps. There's no way they can make it 47 laps. Jack Roush talking to him right now saying, Mark, if you save, we might be a lap short, but we might make it. But they're going to go for it. Mike Hogwood.
Well, I'm here in the Jeff Burton pits, and I asked Frank Stoddard. I said, Frank, can you make it all the way? And he said, we should be able to. And I said, should? He said, well, let me put it this way. If anybody makes it the distance, we will. Steve Burns.
Mike, I just talked to Peter Jellin, who's the gas man on the number 18 Pontiac of Bobby Labonte. Same question. Can you make it the rest of the way? He said we should be able to, but again, they're hedging their bets. Should being the key word.
And as we know, with the word should, there are no shoulds. We'll have to see.
Just as
pretty interesting that Earnhardt pitted just a moment ago as we got ready to go green.
Our leader, that #1 car, he does not have to, he don't have to worry about it. He must stop before the end of the race.
Absolutely, he cannot make it.
The races, they talk so much about fuel. Well, if you watch New Hampshire, if you heard about New Hampshire, look at that 23 is Spencer trying to get a lap back. Here's Wally Dallenbach getting set. He's in 10th position in the number 25. He's had a good run all day. And we are showing exactly 22 cars on the lead lap as we get ready to decide this one. 165 laps complete. They go back to green. They'll have gone 412.5 miles as we complete caution period number 8. Steve Park will lead them down. Bickle tucked into 2nd spot. Good day for him. And then you've got Jeff Burton and Mark Martin, his teammates around, running in 4th and 5th. Here comes Terry Labonte in 6th. Michael Waltrip in 7th. Ernie Irvin in 8th. Dale Jarrett 9th. Dallenbach 10th.
How wide would you say that is? 5, 6 cars wide as they head down into turn 1. I'll tell you who's really in good shape right now. Earnhardt stopped, got 2 right sides, and filled up the fuel this last lap around. So I think he does not have a problem. He should be able to just go hard as he can go right to the finish.
You going to change your pick on this race?
No, I hadn't picked anybody. I like them all.
Anybody ever want to bet against Earnhardt in a Winston Cup stock car race under any circumstances? As long as that thing's got 4 wheels on it, he's in the lead lap.
Here's Foxy.
Well, there's a Foxy guy in that green car right there, and we know he gets great gas mileage. I wouldn't count Bobby Labonte out in any race.
The 23 to maintain a lap up, get back into that lead lap, and he's in it now, just on the tail end. Earnhardt, 17.
You know, we saw Dale Jarrett a while ago get sideways from somebody running into him. We got a chance to look at the left rear corner, and he does not have anything to worry about. Where he was struck was behind the wheel, no problem as far as the way the car will handle.
Jarrett moving through traffic here, being shown in 9th position.
There's the left rear corner. Just at the end of the bumper back here was where he got struck, so he's just fine. Nothing troubling, he's fine.
Nope, that shouldn't hurt him at all. Jimmy Spencer, who's leading this crowd, is down 2 laps. He's basically just behind Steve Park on 1 lap down. So if we get a caution flag right now, Spencer will have picked up 1 lap and only be 1 lap down.
This is Bobby Labonte you're riding with. You see him taking a wide run in there, right down to the bottom now. Steve Park moves up the racetrack just a little bit.
For the lead.
For first place. Bobby Labonte has it. Is he on the way to the sweep? He won here in June. Can he do it again? Meanwhile, further back in the pack, the number 3 car has come from 22nd to 15th in 2 laps. Earnhardt is on a roll with those 2 tires and that last little gasp of gasoline. Here he comes, still sorting himself out. Underneath Hut Strickland, underneath Johnny Benson.
Oh, he hit Johnny Benson there. Johnny Benson holds on, but that was almost a major crash there.
That could have been bad. 3 wide.
Benson did an absolutely marvelous job of hanging onto that race car. In the hands of a lesser man, that thing would have been in the wall, would have been a big crash. Great job by Johnny Benson.
Avoided caution number 9. And we've got the crash down here. That's Nadeau in the wall, and it's also Kenny Wallace. Oh. Now there's number 9, and that is a hard hit.
Huge
on
hit.
those 2. Poor those 2 rigs, too. Well, that one's moving. But look at the back end. They've crunched that one up. That's a rear clip. Now they're racing back to the line, and this is getting serious. Look at that 99 closing ground. Jeff Burton really closing in. I don't think he can contain him, but he's making a run for it.
Jimmy Spencer made up one of the laps. He's down right now in the 23 there. Got by the 18.
Bobby Labonte across in the lead. Nadeau's number 9. It's been a difficult weekend for him. And that just about wraps it up. That puts the bow on that package.
Wow.
Mark Martin has come to 3rd, folks. Checking on Kenny Wallace down here. And Jerry Nadeau for the moment. We saw Kenny Wallace pulling away. Nadeau coming out of the number 9.
That's good to see. He's sitting on the door jam there, trying to get his breath back.
He really hit hard. Roof caved in. Hang on to him. Let him catch his breath.
I think they
takes his helmet off, gets his ear plugs out. He's just trying to. I tell you what, that really hurts when you hit that hard.
look and listen. You're riding with Nadeau, number 9, down the long straightaway going to turn 1.
Oh, wicked.
Wow. Mike Skinner was the car on the far left there, 3 wide down in that corner. Something had to give.
Well, Nadeau walking around under his own power, walking to the ambulance, not even a limp. They will make him go to the infield care center to check it out, wearing our TBS driving suit. Boy, 2 race cars demolished this weekend. Tough weekend for Jerry Nadeau.
Meanwhile, the strategy. Earnhardt may pit with 4 more new tires. 9th yellow of the day. This caution is important for those trying to stretch that fuel mileage. Let's see who's going to take the gamble. showing 169 complete as they come to the stripe. And who's on pit road?
Earnhardt's back on pit road now.
Let's see if he goes for the 4. Dale Earnhardt eases down on the pit road. This is where the strategy can pay off as Richard Childress' team just makes such great calls. One of the greatest champions in NASCAR history goes up on the right side, comes around to the left. It's a 4-tire change.
It was just a few minutes ago he was in for right side, and he was making such great progress, and they're kind of at the back of the field. If they were so quick with just right sides, go for 4. Maybe you can catch them all and get them, you know, and put them away.
Well, no matter what, it's going to be fun to watch.
It is going to be fun to watch. We are building toward one tremendous finish in the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. Please don't go away. Here's the situation. 171 laps have now been completed in the Pennsylvania 500. There are 72.5 miles remaining to be run. Here's your leader, Bobby Labonte in first, Burton in second, Martin third, Steve Park fourth, Terry Labonte in fifth, Bickle sixth. Then you got Dale Jarrett, followed by Ernie Irvin, Wally Dallenbach in ninth, Michael Waltrip 10th, Skinner is 11th. Key to this race is probably in the 18th position. He has shot himself with 4 brand new tires, Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of caution laps here, and a lot of cars that were just marginal will make it now. So you see them scrubbing back and forth. That means they're not coming in. So we'll see what happens here as we go back to green.
For 140,000 folks, and for you folks at home, I think the fun will be in seeing what Earnhardt does with this situation. Richard Childress, folks, brought him on pit road. Crew chief Kevin Hamlin strapped on 4 new tires. We know he can go the distance, and we know how he likes short sprint races, and here's what we have. Just exactly that, with 21 cars in the lead lap.
And the other thing Earnhardt likes to do is pass cars, and he's going to have to do a whole bunch of that, 17 ahead of him.
What do they say? Yeah, he's like a hungry dog on an old steak. Get ready, here it comes. There will be 173 of 200 laps complete as they come down out of turn 3 on this 2.5-mile tri-oval at Pocono, Pennsylvania, to decide a $2 million race, the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. After having completed the 8th caution of the day, the 9th caution of the day, they come to the line. Bobby Labonte leads them down in the green car on the outside. Elliott Sadler pops out in front, trying to make a lap up, and is just in front of Labonte, who now squeezes to the outside as they go into turn number 1, followed by Jeff Burton second, Mark Martin in third, Steve Park fourth, and it's Terry Labonte in fifth as they round the 14-degree bank into that the Long Pond straightaway, 3,100 feet down through there. Rich Bickle back in 6th, Dale Jarrett to 7th, Ernie Irvin in 8th, Dallenbach 9th, Michael Waltrip in 10th, and Earnhardt on a roll. He started 17th, and already he's picked up 2. He's to 15th. There's Tony Stewart coming with him. He goes up the outside, around Musgrave, around Waltrip. He keeps on coming, blazing through traffic. Stanton Barrett, who's a lap or 2 down, getting passed by him. He stays right with the number 20. Closes in on Rusty Wallace. Down to the line. Earnhardt trying to make it in the final moments of this race up into one of those top spots. And he's already picked up to 15th.
Every fan in the grandstand is on their feet, as they should be. Here comes Earnhardt on the bottom.
Tony Stewart in the 20 there gets a good drive off the corner.
Here he comes trying to get through on the bottom. It's blocked down there. The pick is number 11, Brandwoodine, so he slips back up on the outside at that evil elbow, the tunnel turn. Through it nicely. Wallace leads them through there.
Earnhardt was held up just a little bit by Bodine. Lost about 3 car lengths there to Tony Stewart.
Wallace 13th, Stewart 14th, Earnhardt in 15th. Mike Hogwood, a report on that, number 3.
Jeff Burton off the pace there on the inside of the racetrack.
Whoops. The 99 is slowing down. One of the major contenders today.
99 on pit road. Jeff Burton right when he didn't need to be.
Oh,
and right to the garage.
Big trouble for Jeff Burton.
Not going to be his day. Bobby Labonte is in front. Mark Martin, with all those broken bones, still is up there. He's in second spot. Broken transmission, Randy Pemberton reports. On the number 99 of Jeff Burton, Tony Stewart won't let Earnhardt by as they continue to make their own personal war and fight their way through the field. They're up to 13th and 14th. Back with the leaders another time. Take a look at Labonte out in front. Advantage 1 and 4/10 seconds over Mark Martin in second place.
Mark Martin has a very fast car. He's out of traffic right now. As you see everybody back there starting to weave around, trying to make positions every lap they come around right now. Tony Stewart's running very, very well. I think right now, though, Dale Earnhardt is much quicker in the corners than straightaway speed. The 20 car has a great grip coming up out of the corner.
Michael Waltrip on the outside. You see the number 2 going down to the bottom, trying to move through. A single file, and here comes Stewart looking to the inside. And Earnhardt
does it the
hard way and makes it. What a move by none other than the champion of those kind of moves, Earnhardt. There was no place to go, no room on the outside, and he found a spot. And here he comes after Wallace, and here he comes after Michael Waltrip.
Well, he's found his groove. The car
to the inside.
Whoa! I was just about to say he has found the car to his liking on the outside. Boom! He pops to the bottom.
Just remember, 4 new tires, though, are so very important to having great grip through the corners. He's very fast through the corners. But look at Stewart. He's fighting back on the outside there.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of a problem there. Right now, Earnhardt has pulled up into 12th, going for 11. Here comes Stewart down to the inside.
3 wide as he heads to the tunnel turn. This won't work.
You can't do that. They did it.
Stewart with a brave move on the bottom, making it 3 wide.
Talk about the rookie and the veteran. Whoa.
Youth and enthusiasm, old age and treachery.
Earnhardt now on the outside is Stewart.
Look at this for third. Here comes Jarrett under Steve Park. And how about that move? Rich Bickle right in there as well. Let's go back and take another look at Earnhardt and Stewart. Crowd standing. No one is sitting down on this one. There you see Jeffrey Bodine, the numbered 60. He is in 10th position. Squeaking up to the outside, squeezing through. There goes Earnhardt, looking to the bottom to make the move. There goes Stewart. He's got Bodine, and he almost has Earnhardt. Robert Presley's 77 lap down.
Well, both Earnhardt and Stewart now have cleared Jeffrey Bodine. I wonder if they're going to start to work together a little bit as a team to try to get past some more cars.
I think teamwork went out on the last pit stop there. I think everybody's after it right now.
Yeah, Labonte first by some 2+ seconds over Mark Martin. Jarrett staying third.
You think these people don't love it? Everybody's standing up, clapping every time Earnhardt comes by. They know he has fresh tires. But Stewart, I'm telling you, on old tires is making a run.
Here he comes. Rushville, Indiana's Rushman, trying to get underneath Earnhardt. Both in the throttle hard and give it to Stewart for position. That for 10th.
You're going to see this for a couple of years now. Tony Stewart and this man right here, Dale Earnhardt, they'll have many a battle.
Closing on Dallenbach in 9th. Jeffrey Bodine through on that lap car of Presley. He's in 12th. There you see Dallenbach. A couple of back markers in between them.
Now, you won't believe this. Even though he has fresher tires, Earnhardt leaned on those tires very, very hard, and now he's beginning to get less grip and less grip. We'll see how it shakes out.
Stewart continues to move forward. Looking for Ernie Irvin.
Ernie Irvin in the number 36.
That car right there.
Dallenbach has picked his pace up, and he's moved around Ernie Irvin. While Wally Dallenbach up to 7th. Then it's Skinner in 8th and Irvin in 9th. Boy, not much of a view out of Wally Dallenbach's car here.
Yeah, but
to see it all.
We talked about that not long ago. That's just the left side of that windshield, the important part. If you have to look out the right side, you're in trouble anyhow.
Look at Stewart. Look at Earnhardt closing in. Jeffrey Bodine right with them. We have 181 laps complete, 19 to go. Bobby Labonte is out in front. Martin is in second. Dale Jarrett third. Rich Bickle is up to fourth. Steve Park in fifth. Question about Bickle and Park going the distance. Doesn't seem possible they can make it go. Here comes Stewart down to the inside. Moving another Jimmy Spencer lap car. The next car that figures in the lead lap.
Jimmy Spencer just rolls out of the throttle, lets Stewart go down in the tunnel turn there.
Is Ernie Irvin. Let's see what Stewart can do.
Well, he's already back up to 10th, Stewart is. He's making a run toward the front. You see Earnhardt dropping off just a little bit. He leaned on those tires awfully hard those first few laps around there.
Ernie Irvin had a very good run here back in June, placed 8th. Here comes the candy man of the 36 and trying to chase him for some of that. This young fella Stewart.
Well, I asked Tony Stewart about fuel. He said if there's any question whatever, we are going to put fuel in my race car. And indeed, he was in on lap 160. Stewart should be in good shape.
You look in front there. You see the 36 there. That's Ernie Irvin just in front of him, our pole setter, Mike Skinner, and the closing 20 car, Tony Stewart.
Skinner in 8th. Skinner in 8th. Irvin in 9th. Stewart 10th. Just behind him, Earnhardt in 11th. Up in front, Bobby Labonte trying to pull away. He stretched it to nearly 3 seconds over Mark Martin, but what a thriller we've got here. Down to the inside. Here comes Tony Stewart rambling up through traffic down that long 2,000-foot straightaway. Tony Stewart looking good.
Well, I hope Ernie Irvin, yeah, he closed the door on him right to the last moment, but Stewart is fighting back on the inside. Great run up out of the corner for Stewart.
He's got it on a rail, bottom of the racetrack. Stewart closes in again.
Oh, don't
coming for the tunnel turn.
What a beautiful drive today by Tony Stewart, the rookie, in only his second ever appearance at Pocono. Side by side with the veterans, just handling that car so well.
Now, Stewart will make the pass here in this flat corner, I do believe, unless he gets a little bit slippery right in this area right here.
What a run by Ernie Irvin. He's just not letting go. He's sticking with it.
Who said you can't run wide open through the 2x2 through the tunnel turn? They just did that, and they went through turn 3. That's the first time I've seen that in a long time.
Boy, buddy, I think you called it right. Earnhardt used up some of that Goodyear rubber in that run that he made up with Stewart, flashing through traffic.
Stewart really needs to get going here to get Byron Irvin as they head down the back straightaway.
That's a move for 9th position. And I can't believe what we just saw. That limited racing groove, that restricted sight line, that high-speed corner that's a one-lane position. Right here, that tunnel turn, they went too wide, and Ernie Irvin just did not back off. He fought Stewart for every inch of that corner.
One of the bravest men out there, Ernie Irvin is, I'll guarantee you. And just behind him, if this guy was in the lead lap, Jimmy Spencer, that would be a great show.
Nichols stays in 4th, Park in 5th, Dallenbach to 6th, Terry Labonte to 7th, Skinner in 8th.
Bobby Labonte continues to lead. Mark Martin continues to run second. Jarrett in third. We watch this battle.
Earnhardt gets it down to the bottom, working well there. Meanwhile, pulling away is Skinner. Mike Skinner in that 8th position, trying to draw away from Stewart.
Just watching Dale Earnhardt go through the tunnel turn. He's picked up a little bit of a handling problem. He's not going through the corner like he'd like to be right now.
There you go.
Tony Stewart does not have that problem.
1:31. Last pit stop was 1:61, buddy. For Skinner. 20 was in the lap, 2:61.
Here comes Stewart on the inside trying to get by. Mike Skinner makes the pass going into turn 1.
Stewart is putting on some exhibition. Give him 8th position with that move as he goes looking for Texas Terry Labonte.
Every racetrack we go to, this guy picks up another 10,000 fans.
Let's go up to the leader. Here is Bobby Labonte in front, and he is building a tremendous lead over Mark Martin in 2nd spot. It's a big one. It's going to be like 4 seconds as he continues to build on this lead, trying to sweep both Pocono races this year. 4.8 at this point. There's Jarrett coming across in the 3rd position. And there is your 4th place car, Rick Bickle, followed by Steve Park. And down the inside, here comes Dallenbach. Dallenbach moving up. He's trying to take 5th position away. What a run Dallenbach is having for Rick Hendrick today.
Amen, and he knows he's not going to be in the 25 next year. He's looking for a ride. Nothing will suit everybody more than him to have a great run today and get settled for next year.
He had a terrific run at New Hampshire a couple of weeks ago. He's a fine race car driver.
Here you see that leader, Labonte, out in front. Martin still in 2nd, and he builds on that lead. If anything, it's growing. I would be concerned about that. There's nothing conservative about the effort that Bobby Labonte is making. You don't want to give it all. You've seen so many times you get so close, and then that motor distributes itself all over the asphalt. Take a look at Jarrett in 3rd. What a day he has given this Pocono crowd. Some magnificent racing. You're with him now as he looks up toward Martin.
I see a car that's barely coasting up in the far end of the racetrack up there. If he does not get back, you can see right there the 22 of Ward Burton, right front tire flat. He's going to make it back to the pit. Now, whether he put any debris on the back straightaway or not that would bring out a caution, we don't know.
2nd time today, right front tire down. The 1st time he made an incredible save. Looked like he was going to stuff it in the wall. Ward Burton, one of the favorites. 188, track stays green.
Labonte is opening distance between himself and Mark Martin in 2nd spot. Martin has got to be wondering about Pocono. He has never won here. He's already finished 2nd 3 times. If he stays where he is, it'll be 4.
And falling into the clutches of Dale Jarrett.
That's what he has to worry about right now. Dale Jarrett has been one of the fastest cars all day long. He is moving in on Martin.
I don't care if he finishes 1st or 30th. He's my hero.
Oh, he's
anybody that can go out as beaten up as that guy is and run this kind of race right up there with the top spots all day, you got to take your hat off and give it a big tip to this number 6, Mark Martin.
But you're talking about a guy that really has made himself a race car driver. When he first started running, he weighed about 120 pounds. Now he looks like he's been chiseled out of granite.
10 laps to go. Can Mark Martin hold on for the reserve champion position in this Pennsylvania 500? And there's Earnhardt.
Yeah, he's drifting backwards now. The car is not up to full song as he was. He had a great advantage with the fresh tires, and he used them up in a hurry.
But he gave this crowd their tickets worth, no question about it. Take a look here. It is Dale Jarrett on the outside, wheeling around. Mark Martin, that's for 2nd spot.
Gordon just limping around on the bottom of the racetrack. Earlier, flat tire exploded, damaged his race car. He has not been fast since.
32nd on the field. Way back. He's on lap 179. Leaders coming around with lap 191 showing this time by. Bobby Labonte in front. Can he stay there? Will it hold together? Bring him down and be the 4th man in history to sweep both races at Pennsylvania's 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway. Here comes Jarrett in 2nd spot. I wonder if that's a cat and mouse. And look at this. Dallenbach down to the inside. Dallenbach under Bickle.
And you see Tony Stewart in the 20 moving in on both those guys now.
Oh, Tony Stewart. Wow. What a future for this guy. He is just a natural-born racer. A winner for sure in time to come in Winston Cup racing. Underneath Bickle. Stewart picks up another one. That'll put him in 5th. Dallenbach in 4th, having just a wonderful ride. And what a good day as well for Rich Bickle. To see him have a really good one. Some of these teams, smaller teams, are giving it their best shot here today. Number 45, Bickle, staying right with it in that Tim Beverly car. There's that interval from 1st to 2nd. You see Jarrett in that blue, number 88, coming down into the corner, right on the rear bumper. Perched there is the number 6. Mark Martin drops back a couple of car lengths as they hit turn 1. Laps running down.
Yeah, and everybody's watching the fuel gauge right now, wondering, do we have enough fuel in these cars to make it or not? Right now, if one backfires on you, you break your leg trying to get the clutch in so you can coast to the pit.
Well, that's the big question, and the question for this guy, too, Bobby Labonte, does he have enough to get all the way to the end and win this thing?
In 1982, it was a season sweep at Pocono by the great Bobby Allen. It was done in 1985 by Bill Elliott. In 1986 by Tim Richmond. Won both Pocono races. It has not happened since 1986. You may be watching it right here as you watch, again, Dale Jarrett trying to close down. But it looks to me like it's going the other way.
Yeah,
as if Bobby Labonte is building a little on this.
Yep, that's second and third, and Bobby Labonte is pulling away from the second and third place car. Wally Dallenbach, though, in 4th place right now. Best finish ever, second twice. So, hey, he's doing a great job today.
Let's go to the pits a final time and check on the condition of these cars, and we'll start with Steve Burns.
Ken, I went and checked with Peter Gellin, the gasman, on the 18 again. Last time he said we should be able to make it. This time he said absolutely no problem. We can make it to the checkered flag. Mike Hogwood?
Hey, when Dale Jarrett came on the radio a couple laps ago and asked Todd Parrott, he said, hey, do we have enough fuel that I can go hard now? He said, yeah, go for it, buddy. 2 laps later, he passed Mark Martin. He's ready to go, but does he have enough to catch Bobby Labonte? Randy Perry.
Well, Mark Martin, he actually picked up a little bit of a skip in the engine. They went ahead and told him to go ahead and back off right now. I mean, the distance that he has on the car behind him is Sterling Marlin, who's a lap down, and then you got to go all the way back to Wally Dallenbach. So no jeopardy of losing that position. We're just going to go ahead and back it off and ride it out.
Course car Sterling Marlin is back there in 29th position. Indeed, a lap down. Actually, 2 laps down. Well, here's Mark Martin in 3rd place. I don't want to belabor this story, but I think for any sports fan, no matter what sport you follow, to see the grit of this guy under the conditions he is driving in today, it just does something, puts a lump in your throat to see him ride.
Rusty Wallace just pulled in the pit, so he couldn't make it on fuel. That makes me wonder if there is a bunch of cars that will be making pit stops now.
Back to 18th. Joe Gibbs looking on as Bobby Labonte looks to be looking toward the Victory Oval at the Pocono Raceway. A unique place. Not a circle, not a finish line area. Genuine Victory Oval here at Pocono. And again, out of that 14-degree turn down that Long Pond straightaway of 3,100 feet, Bobby Labonte in command.
I will tell you this, I was watching the pit crew of Rusty Wallace. It may not have been fuel. They took the tire off the right front and they were rolling it, looking at it very carefully.
Well, he did have a right front. Look at this. Stewart is going to make another move, this time on Wally Dallenbach. Stewart in the 20 car has passed yet another for
4th place. Give him another 50 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Over, put a little more money down in this race. This is unbelievable.
It's still a big day for Dallenbach, though. He has not had a top 5 since 1996 when he was 3rd at Sonoma. Big, big day for Wally Dallenbach here in Pocono.
And for Bobby Labonte, this could be his 10th career victory. What a 99 he is having. First at Dover, Delaware this year. First at Pocono in June. Looks to be on his way. Less than 4. 2nd and 3rd spot. There's the interval as Dale Jarrett goes.
Trouble in turn 3.
Got a problem in turn 3. That final turn into the main straightaway. Smoker coming down onto the pit road.
Stanton Barrett.
Stanton Barrett erupting one.
No caution. No caution on the speedway yet. They're still under green.
Stanton Barrett in 28th position with his engine unhinged.
Boy, there was a lot of smoke, but apparently he did not put any oil down on the racetrack. Everybody come through there with no problem.
Well, it's going to be one of the biggest wins of the season as far as the interval between first and second. It's 8 seconds. But nobody can complain about this race. There has been great racing most of the day right up on the point. And then later on, you saw this great battle that's been waged by Earnhardt and then by Tony Stewart as they drew themselves up through the field. We've gone through, what, 9 caution periods today? 9 indeed as we get down toward the finish. Inside of 3 laps.
Tony Stewart loves that 4th place. He's had several this year.
I reminded of the conversation, Buddy Baker, you and I had with Tony Stewart at Charlotte in mid-May when Tony Stewart told you and I that it'd be a great season, that he could just have 5 top 5s. He said, I'll trade a win for that. And he's well on his way to his 5th top 5 today. And this man is on his way to winning at Pocono twice in a row.
Now, when you're out in front like this, the first thing you have to do is make sure you don't make a mistake because you have the car, the pit stops are right. Every move he makes right now takes total concentration. Bobby Labonte right now is in what they call the zone.
Second place car, here's Jarrett in the 88. The third place car, Mark Martin, the engine beginning to stutter. The 2 car up in there, lap down, Rusty Wallace being shown down a lap to the leader. And here comes number 20, Tony Stewart. Just doesn't quit, just keeps pressing, just keeps going. Final lap, a dazzling display today by Tony Stewart. Last lap for this man, Bobby Labonte. A lot of engines smoldering here at the end of this race. As they're deployed, it's Labonte. If that car mechanically hangs together, he'll be there. Showed a lot of patience at midway, and then put it to him when the time came. He's going to get himself a sweep. 4th one in history, buddy.
Down towards the tunnel turn. This is the last real crucial turn that he has to go through. Very smooth, low line through there. Picks the throttle up, out towards the outside wall. Couldn't have asked for any better.
In pursuit, Jarrett behind, running for second spot, but he'll take a big jump at the point with the effort he's made. Final turn, final time. Down he comes, checkers are out, and Bobby Labonte has won the Pennsylvania 500. It's a Pennsylvania sweep here at Pocono. Second place car to the line. That's Dale Jarrett crossing 8 6/10 seconds behind. And here comes Tony Stewart just behind. Mark Martin, he'll come across in 4th. Steve Burns is with Joe Gibbs, the winning car owner here today.
Joe, congratulations. That was a great team victory for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, it was great. It took everybody. Bobby did a great job. We had a great car. Second car, we wrecked the other one. Couldn't bring it back. And Jimmy made some great calls with everybody in here, the whole team. And Lord bless us with a great experience. I tell you, Pocono's a tough place to race. And to get it twice is, that's a thrill. We weren't very good here for a long time.
We'll let you celebrate with your team.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Well, they sure are having a great year in 1999 here. 2-time winner at Pocono, Bobby Labonte.
Not only that, team car in 4th. 1st and 4th. Sounds like when he was the coach for the Redskins.
And a resurgent Earnhardt ends in 9th today. But the other big story is this Tony Stewart. Well, and the other bigger story, I think, is Mark Martin. Here's Tony Stewart slowing down.
And give a good call for Jarrett. He didn't have a clutch about half of the race, and he had a great race car also.
Here is Mark Martin coming in. There can't be much left of that scrappy little guy from Arkansas. What a run he has made. For him, another day, didn't win it. He'll just get ready in 2 weeks to go to Indianapolis and be in a little better health. He'll have his wrist back, maybe his knee with that pin in it will be a little better. The bruised ribs, he gets out. Well, we're right with him as he gets ready to clamber out. What a run today by Mark Martin for third spot. Congratulations,
He don't
Mark.
clamber out. They come and get him. They have to help him get out of that race car physically.
Jimmy Fenning, right?
Yeah, crew chief sticking his head in there. Oh, he's going to come out by himself.
Oh, no, he's not.
No, he started. Oh, look at the pain on his face.
Whoa. It's been a day's work.
Yeah. Sean Parker helping him out.
What a great champion that guy is. Let's visit the winner today of this 500. Steve Burns is with Bobby Labonte.
Ken, Bobby Labonte said he didn't like this racetrack, but man, you won both of them here in 1999.
Well, I tell you what, this Interstate Pontiac, I wasn't too sure about it yesterday afternoon. It wasn't quite as good as the other car was here we had here last time, but they worked on it all day long. I mean, I cussed it pretty bad for most of the day, but you know, all the guys did a great job. They adjusted on the car just right, and you know, I tell you what, just great pit stops today. Motor was really good today, a really good motor. Right there at the end, needed some clean air, and we got some, man. I checked out, and I was looking at the weather. It looked like it might rain. I said, well, I don't want a red flag, that's for sure, but you know, we just run as hard as we could there at the end, and Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton, you know, they were going to be really, really strong there at the end, and something happened to Jeff, and Mark's awful tough, and Dale's awful tough, and of course, Jeff Gordon has some bad luck. I don't think we had the fastest race car all day long, but we had the fastest race car at the end, and it definitely paid off. I mean, just the guys did a great job again on this Interstate Pontiac. Was a good day for us.
All right, congratulations. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Mark Martin, he doesn't want to stop. He's limping badly. Mark, what a gallant effort here today.
It was a hot one today. Valvoline Cummins' team did a great job today. We had a good car, but it wasn't good enough to beat about 4 of them out there. But they did a good job to get me in third, get me in second, and then Jeff Burton broke, and I just wanted to finish, so I backed off. And I might have could have beat Jarrett, but I doubt it. I just needed to make it to the end. I'm pretty proud of this race team. We've dug in and held our ground through all this. And we'll emerge, hopefully, winning some races here, starting at Indy.
Okay, we can't say
every
enough.
American
One
race
tough
fan,
cookie.
every American race fan is some proud of him. Back with more interviews, more of the great story of the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500, where Bobby Labonte reigns after this. Celebration continues in the Victory Oval here at Pocono, Pennsylvania. Bobby Labonte successful here in this venture for $2 million. Let's meet now the guy who finished second today, Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett, your team worked so hard today just to give you a race car to get out here on this track. You led a good portion, come home second.
Yeah, great day for us. Congratulate Bobby Labonte. They did a great job. They've got a great setup for here. They've done good all year long. But these guys I'm really proud of. They've worked hard all weekend. We've had an interesting weekend. Things maybe exactly hadn't gone our way. We've brought on some of it. And just when we lost the clutch there, that really hurt me. We lost track position with that. But these guys kept battling. We had a tire carrier to get hurt today. The jack got dropped on his foot, Brian Clark, and you know, that hurt us a little bit. But these guys just hang in there and keep digging. And for those fans that weren't listening to the radio just a minute ago, I want to take this chance to apologize for a couple of weeks ago for not my actions, but my choice of words. I can do better than that, and I promise those fans I will do better in that respect, but I'm not going to back down from a challenge. I can assure them that. So we're going to keep after this championship, but I'm going to choose my words a little bit better.
Dale Jarrett, still the points leader after this race today.
Still remembering that confrontation with Jeff Gordon. He came in leading by 240 points. He now leads by 254 in his quest for the ultimate, the national championship. Dale Jarrett, great runner, who finishes second today after starting in 15th. As we take a look at the unofficial results, buddy, darn good racing here at Pocono today.
Absolutely, the top 10 there. Just some great runs by Wally Dallenbach in 5th. Steve Park comes home in 8th. And Mike Skinner, our pole setter, dropped all the way back to 10th.
And a big day for Rich Bickle, who finished 7th today. Good run for him.
Yeah, and for Steve Park as well. That 8th place finish by Park. Oh, gosh, as Buddy was saying, that is something for him. Glad to see it happen, and folks in this part of the country think a great deal of that young man. Okay, that's the unofficial standings. The guy everybody's talking about, and as well they should. When he came into today, he was 6th in the national point standings. He's just gone by Jeff Gordon to take over the 5th spot and move Gordon back to 6th. Who else but Tony Stewart?
All right, Tony Stewart out of his car, cooling off a little bit. Tony, just a fantastic run for you today.
Yeah, you know, Greg Zeppedelli and all the guys on the Home Depot team gave me a great race car. I got us a little bit behind when I tangled up with Johnny Andretti there, and you know, we had to go to the back, and then just the way the pit strategy worked out, we were going to have to come in no matter what. So, you know, it hurt us on track position, but we had a great race car today.
And towards the end, you had the best race car on the track possibly, next to your partner.
Yeah, you know, a fourth place is the best we've ever run in a Cup race, so I'm not going to complain about a fourth, but it's like I told him on the last lap, I go, it's nice to know when you got the fastest car on the racetrack, so we're going to leave here with smiles on our faces.
Great day.
More of the story here at Pocono, Pennsylvania. It's a Joe Gibbs day, it's a Bobby Labonte day, and they're celebrating.
Pennsylvania 500 on TBS Superstation has been brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. By Citgo, you know a neighbor when you see one. By Fran Filters, pay a little more now or pay a lot later. By Motrin IB, prescription proven power. And by Advanced Auto Parts, the best part is our people.
Cup Series here at Pocono International Raceway, once in June and once in July.
At Pocono, Pennsylvania, it's over. The joy and jubilation belong to the team of Jimmy May Carr, crew chief, and his driver, Bobby Labonte, and all these people who work so hard week in and week out to make Winston Cup racing so exciting. A final look at the point standings here. Boy, they are exciting. Dale Jarrett in first. Here you see it, Martin, Bobby Labonte, Jeff Burton, Stewart, Gordon back in sixth spot now. 19 races have been completed this year. Hey, let me ask you, buddy, you've seen a lot of races. This has been a good one today.
It has that, and I want to give a call to Wally Dallenbach. He had the best finish of any of the Hendricks Motorsports cars today. Great run, 5th place.
Dick Berggren.
With his 15th top 5 in 1999, Dale Jarrett is on a march toward the Winston Cup Championship. He took over the points lead at Richmond, and other than Lowe's, he has increased that lead in every single race since.
Bobby Labonte has won his 3rd Winston Cup race this year. How is he doing it? He says it's Joe Gibbs. He's been quoted as saying, Joe Gibbs changed my attitude toward things, my feelings toward people. When you're around Joe Gibbs, he rubs off on you. It's all good. He's so considerate, but he's so very, very competitive. You can be both. For Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker, Randy Pemberton, Mike Hogwood, and Steve Burns, Ken Squire, saying so long from Pocono, Pennsylvania. Next, it's TBS Super Shop, followed by Thunderheart, starring Val Kilmer. It's part of Super Movie Sunday, coming up on the Super Station.